Alchemist poet, live in a moment. Distribute content, starving to know it. Pause for the stoic. The paragraph pictures situated well. Genuine aroma, never duplicated smell. The headbanger classic, the mean bass blasted. Some good stuff, yo. Take a hit before you pass it. Talk archery, full-fledged barkery. Dwelling in the basement with culinary sovereignty.
She was immaculate, the assessment was accurate. Her femininity radiated divinity. Genetics forged in a fires over millennia. A smile like sunshine made everything else trivia. Non-NutraSweet or stevia, organic sugar cane. I sense the fragrant mutuality, it killed the pain. Caught in the moment.
You're listening to Flex Talk, a Banana Pudding Productions podcast. For more information, please visit flexlanta.com.
Find the right side of love, you better hold it. Most don't know what they got until they fold it. I'm all in, what you got, you better own it. Welcome to the mind of one deep-ass poet. BS sees no opponent. Beauty is in the eye of whom beholds it. Truly, this is a monumental moment.
All right, man, it's May 5th. First episode of the summer schedule, Flex Talk podcast. You got your host, Chris, co-host, Randy. Got two special guests. You want to go by Cass or Cassie?
Either one, but since we cool here, we can call me Cass, and we can run with
Cool. We got Cass here, and then we got my boy B-Shack, Brandon. Get gains or get gone. All right. So this is how the podcast goes. Normally, I'm gonna open up the show with just a brief introduction of what's going on throughout the week, different little updates and shit. Stuff like that, and then we'll go into our interview process. Then we'll always have a fitness hour. We'll talk about eating right. We'll talk about working out, all this fitness stuff. And then our last hour will be pretty much open discussion. We'll talk about current music, politics, religion. Today's we're going to talk about some movies, the Us movie and Avengers, and also talk about this the whole social media world, you know, the pros and cons of being on social media. So right now we're just gonna jump into the interviews. I'm going to let Cass go ahead and introduce herself. Tell everybody what she does, how they can find her, give herself a little background, and then we'll go on to Brandon. So Cass, the floor is yours. The microphone is yours. We've known each other for a couple of years now. This is your second time on the podcast.
Yes. Feels
second
good to be
time
back.
on the podcast. Go ahead and tell the world about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Cassie Chantel, also known as Cash Chantel, which is most of my social media handles. So they call you whatever your name is on social media. So y'all can call me Cass. I'm an artist in all senses of the word. I mostly do I'll say my main thing is music. I'm a performing artist. All of my music is on every streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, SoundCloud. It's Randy reminded me I need to post more on my SoundCloud, but YouTube. I just actually released a video called Wolf Tickets. It was shot by High Def. The video is hard. Y'all need to go check it out. It's on YouTube right now. I also do photography, videography, my company Agesty. So I just be out here networking. I love things like this, like the podcast, and just able to, I stand for expression and duality and just independence. So anything in the form of expression and letting people know who I am and what I stand for, that's what I do. That's all about. We got puppies running around here.
Yeah, dogs running around. As far as music, how long you been doing music? Like, when was the first time you picked up a microphone? First time you recorded a song?
The first time I wrote a song, I was 7. I've been doing music for about 20 years. The first time I recorded, I was 11. It was like just a home setup. Like I had a karaoke microphone plugged into my Windows, and I found like a Acoustica mixer software, some free software I found online. And I just was jacking beats off of different websites that hosted like SoundClick and just different sites like that, and downloaded beats and just started going in. Like from there. And my first performance, I was 16, I was in high school, and I've been in a lot of different situations. I've been going for a long time.
Yeah. What would you say is different from, let's just not say when you begin, but I guess from high school to now, like how you make the music, how you do your videos? What do you think is your biggest difference now? Your approach.
How I make the music is pretty much still the same. Like, I'm still real. I record a lot at my own, like, home studio. The biggest difference now is it's something that I love to do, but it's also my career. So it's like turning it into a profession is what I've been doing since I graduated high school. Since I was 17, I'm trying to figure out what's the best ways for me to make money too, so I could live on it. Like, and just art in general, not even just the music, just how to turn this into something that I can monetize. Like, that's the biggest difference.
Monetizing is definitely important. I know you said your social media sites are pretty much all the same, but you go ahead and spell it out for the people if they're listening now and they want to go look it up.
Yes, it's CASCHANTEL, Cass Chantel. That's pretty much on anything. Even if it's not Cass Chantel on something, when you type in Cass Chantel, Cassie Chantel is gonna pop up. So you can just type in Cass Chantel anywhere and you'll find me. Google it, or you can go to the website. It's www.TheTHELoveLUVTribe.com, and everything is pretty much there. You can see my team and my producers that I work with. My homeboy Bantana, he also raps. So it's a whole movement, Tribe House Records. So
how long has that been going? How long has it been a thing? Tribe House.
Tribe House has been a thing for the last 3 years. We linked up. It was me and After Hours. We met during like the department store days on Edgewood. And then he introduced me to Bantana, who he was already working with. And it's just like, since day one, since me and Bantana met, we made like 2 songs like the first day. And it's just like, we kept pushing them out. We got like so many records together, and we started throwing parties together, and it just became a thing, like, organically.
Yeah. Now on your website, can they download your music, buy shirts, or what can they do? Can they just go on the website and just see you? Or they can really be a part of something? They
can stream the music straight from the website. It's certain downloads, like exclusive downloads. Some music isn't available on any other platform but the website. The shirts, I'm actually revamping everything because I just want the best quality of everything now. Like, so I'm revamping everything that I'm doing as far as apparel. And I have some real dope designs coming, so please turn notifications on for that, because we got a lot of cool things. Because last summer was interesting. Like, I did the line. I don't know if you saw the shirts that I just had, like, my chest out, because, like I said, like, I support like freedom and individuality.
It was a picture of
yourself, it was a picture of myself, and it's like, because anybody that knows me and they've been knowing me for a while, I will pop out like with a see-through shirt on, no shirt. Like, I'm Free the Nipples campaign, so I just be out here wilding. Free the nipples. So I just be out here wilding. So I actually, like, it's weird because when it was on a shirt, it's like it's desensitized. It's like if I just pop out and I got my shirt open or whatever, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, you need to cover up."
Yeah,
but I see shirts of women that are nude like all the time, and nobody's tripping. So I was like, I'm gonna make this a shirt. So I made it a shirt, and it's like I only made a limited like stock. It was like 27. I sold 27 shirts for $30. They shipped out. We got some in New Zealand, we got some in Germany, and just really all around like the States. So they did really well. I've been holding out on them, but people want them back that missed that drop. So I'm gonna revamp that a little bit and get y'all some new designs. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. How important? I mean, to me, clothes are important. They definitely set yourself apart, no matter what industry you're in. You give yourself a look. You give yourself a feel. So how do you feel about like having shirts with your name or your brand on it? Like, is that important to you, or is it just something that you're just doing just to do?
That's definitely important to me because I love like dressing up and looking good. Like, and then on top of that, with my merchandise, I want to make sure it's not just a shirt that has my name on it. I want it to be something that you would just wear in your like everyday life. Like, I just like this shirt. So it's important to me. That's why I'm taking my time on like releasing something else, because I want to make sure like when we release it, it can be consistent and it's just dope. So it's like up there with the music, like how important it is. Like,
where can the people find you, like in the real world? Like, you be places on the weekend, or you got shows, or?
I'm about to pop out on them like in a lot of different places in a lot of different ways. I actually been ducked off the scene for a while. Like, I just had to get my mind right. I had to work a little bit, so it's like I've been ducked out, but I'm back. Atlanta. So I'm gonna be out where I usually been roaming, like the Edgewood scene. You're gonna catch me at Stankonia. You're gonna catch me Bonfire. You're just gonna catch me out. And then I'm gonna be popping out over the summer. We got a tour. We're going to a couple different places: Pensacola, Florida. We're going to Macon, North Carolina. Like, we hitting up a lot of places that we've been already. But just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's as an entrepreneur, man. If you got the time and you know what you're doing, it's all right to get a job and handle your shit. You know what I mean, and then come back to the scene, because I think, well, at least I know I'll be forgetting that shit. We not old. We still young. So it's like, you know, we have the rest of our lives to continue to be entrepreneurs. But if you got the time and you know you have to get X, Y, and Z in order to get 1, 2, and 3, shit, sometimes a job is important. But I only say that to say that I know a lot of entrepreneurs who are afraid to get jobs. You know what I mean? They just want to stick to their guns and just focus on that, which is cool. But if you get to the point where you need those extra funds, or you just have a lot of time and you want to occupy your time, or anything, man, I look at jobs as like, I want to benefit from the job more than the job benefits from me, if I'm an entrepreneur and going to work. So I salute everybody who's out working and taking time off to ensure that their brand is 100%. So so when you step back on the scene, people really, really feel you.
It's a tough balance, though. I definitely understand the struggle, like, because that's actually something that I'm going through right now. I have my CDLs, so I'm driving and I'm away a lot. But it got to the point where I feel like I understand that sometimes we need to go to work, because, I mean, there's just no way around it sometimes. But it's like, when you know what your purpose is in life, you also got to have a little faith. Well, you got to have a lot of faith. Like, that the Creator is just going to provide for you. Whatever you believe in, you got to just know that you're going to be okay. In certain, we can't stress money, because it's like, it's so fickle. Like, you know, money is going to come and go, and situations that you don't even have any control over are going to happen. And it's like, damn, I could have been doing something else. Like, I'm on the road all the time and I see trucks overturned. I see, like, every time I'm trying to come home, like, something crazy happens with my truck, and I'm like, if I were to die in this truck today, what was I really doing this for? Like, to pay some bills off, like, to get my credit score right, and somebody just opened up an account in my name and dropped my credit score like 30 points. And I've been working all this time to lower my credit score. And I'm like, what was I really doing, like, all of this for? You know, like, now I feel like I just wasted time, and I could have been out here, like, and I see there's so many people around me that's doing music, that's getting opportunities, that I know that if I work hard enough and I stay down, I could be, like, in similar, like, opportunities and situations. But I'm working on a plan B, and I understand why some people be like, you can't focus on a plan B, because you're already setting yourself up, like, you already know you're gonna fail. So sometimes you just gotta focus on plan A. And right now, I'm just I'm skydiving head first. Like, it's no plan B no more. Like, this just has to work, like, now. So I understand why they're afraid to work, because you get off balance. Jobs give me anxiety sometimes. It's just like,
you gotta stay focused and know why you're at that job. Like, you know, that's not gonna be the rest of your life. You know, this is a little stepping stone to what you're trying to do, a little boost.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta look at it as a boost. I said, we went over your social media. You told the people who you are. Got your website done. You talked about your clothes. You'll be popping out over the summer. Anything else you want to put out there before we move on? We still got more to talk about, but as far as like introducing yourself to the peoples.
I think that's a pretty good introduction. Just tap in, just follow me, just go to my pages. You'll get a bigger grasp of it. It's hard to just round up in like one conversation, but you'll begin to see, even over this podcast, you'll begin to see who I am. So yeah, we good.
B Shaq, what it do?
Hey, it was good, man. How's it going? Doing pretty good. You?
Good. Now, this is your first time on the Flex Talk podcast.
Yes, sir.
Hosted by the Flexlanta family. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, where you're from, social media accounts, your website, apparel, your books. You know what I mean? You're an artist too, because you draw pictures and shit and all that good stuff. So, I mean, all of that, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are. Let them know.
What's good, everybody? I'm Brandon Mayshak, a.k.a., as Chris already said, B Shaq, a.k.a. Chef Cumulonimbus, a.k.a. the Black Cloud. Nah, I'm kidding. I do have many nicknames. But shoot, I mean, first and foremost, you know, I'm an artist, you know, before anything. You know, my first love was drawing. Started, you know, in fifth grade. Started, you know, not in fifth grade, as a 5-year-old, you know, see my best friend drawing. Wanted to start, you know, with as competition. You know, I'm also a graphic designer. I have a bachelor's in graphic design and animation. I got into that, you know, around 8th grade. And my cousin Fahamu Peku, who's one of Atlanta's biggest visual artists, he actually opened me up to graphic designing. And I got to work for him. I'm also a fitness coach. My brand is Get Gains or Get Gone, which I, you know, created that some years ago, you know, back in 2013. I got that registered as an LLC in December. The Best of BAM LLC is where I do my graphic design productions, as well as I'm a children's book author as well. B Shaq's Exercise Book for Kids is a 5-volume series geared towards teaching kids exercise and spreading cultural diversity. I've been pushing that into the school systems for a couple of years, and I've gotten to tour and work with some great individuals with that. What else? I also manage social media accounts for small businesses like Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You know, in teaching myself, you know, marketing using social media, I'm now able to offer that to small businesses as well. So, and then lastly, I'm also an elementary school mentor with COD Mentoring Matters. I mentor at my old elementary school. I got expelled from the 2nd grade.
You gotta talk about that. You said you got expelled from 2nd grade?
Yeah.
I got expelled from kindergarten, so I think
man,
we're in the same boat though. But like, what happened in 2nd grade?
Yeah, man. So Bryan Elementary, off of Factory Shows in Baywoodton. I was just, I just terrorized Cobb County growing up as a kid. You know, I got into a lot of fights growing up, detentions. I remember one kid in particular, Brian Harris, used to get in fights with all the time at Pebblebrook. You know who he is. But we're good now, fast forward. Yeah, you know, they finally decided to let me go. You know, I hit a teacher, and that was that. And see, been a teacher, see, now you wild.
Yeah, I was young.
Yeah, they tried to put me in a special class and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing that for a while. I was terrorizing Cobb County for a while. I didn't really get my act together till like after high school, really.
As long as you got your act together. We were just talking about you, Josh Swan. He lives in my neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
We grew up together, like since 2nd grade. I was walking back to the house, and we were just sitting there chopping it up, and he had mentioned your name. So. Oh yeah. How far do y'all go back?
Oh man,
yeah,
Josh.
Shout out to Josh Swan, and shout out to the laboratory and everybody else who's watching. But yeah, tell us how you know Josh Swan. I'm gonna try to get him to come to the podcast too.
Yeah, man. You gotta get me on that one too, cause I love to chop it up with my boy. Man, me and Josh, so we used to go to Grace Baptist Christian School. I know I went 6th and 7th grade. I think he was just there for 6th. It was him and his cousin Kareem. You know, we call him KK back in the day. But yeah, man, you know, we were like the only three black boys, low key. There may have been like two others within our grade level, but you know, we was cool. We was on the basketball team. I got kicked off the basketball. Yeah, you know, I've always been trash at basketball.
Cassie's hooping. We got to play 21 or something.
Man, I'm gonna lose. When I first started working out, man, I got even worse. Didn't we hoop one time? Did we?
Was Dizzy there?
I
think we did hoop one time. It might have been a while ago.
Man, if we did, it must have been a while ago. Maybe like around when I first got back.
Yeah.
I want to say it may have been football.
Maybe football.
So I always been trash at basketball.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You saying y'all were on the team together?
Oh yeah, we was on a team. I got kicked off after the second game. I think me and KK got into it, and they they kicked me off the team. But yeah, man, you know, Josh, you know, real cool dude, man. Yet to link up. I've been back since 2015, but me and him, we actually just talked about 2 weeks ago. You know, so we're gonna link up. You know, when we get a chance.
Yeah, it's crazy how all these fitness people really like low key know each other from way back. Like I know a lot of these people from either when I started back in 2012 or then near like high school. You know, just seeing everybody grow up and evolve and stuff.
Yeah, man, it's really just that kind of Atlanta networking vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's great when when you can reconnect with old friends, you know, fast forward in the future. And now y'all, you know, can work together, you know, and motivate and inspire each other. You know, that's one of the dopest things. That's why I moved back. So, yeah.
As far as your social media sites and your web page, you want to spell it out for the people, let them know how to find you. Because I know you have your personal page and you also have your business page. All
right. So, yeah, my main Instagram is Brandon Mashack. Just my name. That's BrandonMashack. My fitness Instagram is Get Gains or Get Gone. The website is Get Gains or GetGone.com. That's the apparel website. So if you want to get you some merch, go and check that out.
Go shop.
The Best of BAM is my production Instagram page, as well as you have the website, thebestofbam.com. There you can see, you know, a lot of my mentorship, the books, the book touring, my graphic design portfolio, things of that nature. And I'm on Twitter, I guess, Brandon Mashack. I'm never really on it. Honestly, I'm always vent. I vent on Twitter. I rant and vent on Twitter. That's about it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You know, and that's like every once in a while. But so yeah, those are mine.
Yeah, it's good. And they can find your apparel on there. And
Get Gains or GetGone.com for apparel. 15% off. Gains for less.
15% off, guys. 15.
Yes, all caps. Gains for the actual number 4 less. Gains for less. Gonna cop you something.
Gotta go cop. All right. So since we got the introduction down, I guess I'm gonna hit you guys with some questions. Just a few questions, and then we'll go into just the fitness talk. And I'm gonna ask both at the same time. How do you guys feel about being entrepreneurs? And you guys can just go one at a time. Like when you wake up and you understand that you got a task of stuff to do that you gave yourself those tasks. Like, how do you feel? Do you feel like you feel good? You get nervous from facing the day? And
I feel good for the most part. Like, I just know I have to stay busy. It's like when you're an entrepreneur, you really work 10 times harder than the average worker, and you got to stay on yourself because self-discipline is a motherfucker. Like, that's the biggest thing, and knowing, you know, how to balance your personal life with it too, because you have a little more flexibility to, like, okay, I can take this break right now and go turn up with my friends, but then you have to be like, okay, I got a limit. I'm not spending this money. Like, I got to be back at this time. Like, so it's a lot. Like, it can be just as stressful as a regular job, but it's more rewarding, like, at the end of the day, because you feel more satisfied because you were doing what you want to do. So.
Man, yeah, I can tell you, I've been through so many emotions with this entrepreneur vibe this whole year. Becoming 100% entrepreneur was my number one goal of 2019, first and foremost. You know, people who've been watching what I do know that I've been, you know, doing the whole fitness, the whole, you know, art and, you know, thing for some years, but doing it without employment. This week will be my third week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate that, of just working, you know, just off of my, you know, my own self. I never had that hustlers, grinders mentality. You know, quite honestly, I'm lazy by nature. Like, honestly, everything people see is me, you know, really, really stepping outside of myself. And, you know, because I know I got a purpose and a task. So, I mean, all of January was really me just in a cave. I wasn't going out like that. People wasn't hearing from me. Every day I was waking up early in the morning. I would start my day with a devotion, some meditation, and then my workout. You know, I made it a task to work on spiritual, mental, physical health every day, and really ask, you know, from my God, from my Creator, to put those characteristics in me. You know, being blessed growing up, you know, as a young kid, you know, you don't really develop those extra grind, you know, kind of characteristics. So and, you know, lo and behold, throughout the month, as I was working and studying and doing what I needed to do, my business was growing, you know, from 0 to, you know, averaging $3K a month. I was super stressed after that. I'm like, okay, cool, my business is up, man. This is mad work, you know. I would say going to February was just a lot of stress, thinking about the business all the time, you know. Well, okay, shoot, you know, I did all this meditating on it January. Now I can't. Now I'm super stressed out by it. You know, then I realize, you know, at least, you know, with my faith, you know, I'm taught that there's grace. So, you know, I dialed it back, took a step backwards, really kind of set my mind on work, of course, keeping my health, you know, mental health, you know, intact, and just keeping a balance, you know, setting time for work, setting time for rest. And yeah, like, you know, Cass was saying, which I said that right? Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. Yeah, planning your time is super hard as an entrepreneur. It's so easy to waste time. I'm at Cumberland Mall Monday through Friday. That's my work area. You know, I'm going there, finding me a station. Because if I'm home, I'm gonna waste time. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna watch something on Netflix. I'm gonna roll over. You know, lift my leg up. You know, I don't know. So.
Yeah, I like to travel. Like, when I know I got a lot of work to do, I try to go out of town. Just disconnect from just everybody. You know what I mean? I might post on the gram just to keep this shit alive, but as far as like interacting and talking, I try not to do that when I disappear. I try to like just go and just work.
Yeah.
A lot of shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely understand that. Because if I'm at the crib, I'm either not. I might just go outside and play with the chickens or some shit. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Because I spend so much time at the house. Like, I gotta get out the house. I gotta do other things, or I'm gonna just get distracted. Really, it's a distraction thing.
Yeah.
Staying focused and stuff. But as far as entrepreneurs, like, if somebody wanted to be an entrepreneur, would you tell them to do it? Like, what kind of advice would you give somebody who has a job and they're thinking about going into lashes or thinking about going into cutting hair full time? Like, what would you tell somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur full time that has never done it before?
Shoot, I would. Oh, well. Yeah. Okay. Man, look. So I've been book touring since 2017 now, and whenever I go to a school and I present my book and I take the kids to exercise class, after we do the whole workout and all that, I always let them have a Q&A afterwards. Ask me questions, right? And I'm all for pushing the entrepreneur, you know, route. I'll say this. Some people are meant to be entrepreneurs. Some people, you know, are meant to, you know, work in employment. At the end of the day, I think the first question a person needs to ask himself is, what is my purpose on this earth? All right, like that's the first thing. You gotta have something that's gonna drive you, wake you up every day on why you're doing what you're gonna do, and whatever your purpose is, it's gonna be rooted in some type of service towards people. Whether it's service through entertainment, in music or dancing, or through retail or grocery, whatever. Your purpose is gonna be something rooted in service. So, figure out what that is, meditate on that, and then once you realize that, what your purpose is, think about, okay, what skills and tools do you have, what interests do you have that will help you serve that, that purpose. And, just of course determine whether if going the entrepreneur route for you is going to be the best way, or if working with a company or as an independent contractor or employment is going to be the best way. Some people, it's cool, if they're comfortable with, working the 9 to 5 and, paying the bills. I just, of course, say at the end of the day, always work on what you're passionate about at least. You know what I'm saying? Even if you are working employment, work on what you're passionate about and what you feel your purpose is. So, but yeah, I'm off of the entrepreneur route, so.
What about you, Cash? What would you tell somebody that's trying to get their feet wet?
I think he said a lot of really the right things. Like, you really got to ask yourself what your purpose is. I would not suggest someone to become an entrepreneur for money. Don't become an entrepreneur because you want to get rich, because it's not about that. You can get rich being an entrepreneur, but that shouldn't be solely what you're doing it for. You got to be passionate about it. If it's something that's just eating at you, like you go to work every day, but you know in your heart that you should be doing whatever it is you're led to be doing, then figure it out. Like, just drop everything that you're doing and just like plan. Like, and don't even be a stickler to the plan though, because things change beyond your control, and plans don't always work out because God has another plan. So you just got to do what you can, and just make sure whatever you're doing is from your heart. Like that's the main thing. It has to be organic, or it's just gonna fall. Like,
I gotta speak to that money piece. Yo, let me tell y'all, I hate money, okay? Now, when I say I hate money, I understand how it's important, what you need. Man, but I hate how important, money is to individuals, people in the world, you know what I'm saying?
And those people that are important to them, they don't realize that money is literally nothing.
Exactly, and it's like, and I really realized a lot of what I was stressing about, that second month was just the money, making sure that, I was keeping up the income, I was keeping up, that revenue. And, when you're working for money, there can't be any happiness there, because if money's the goal, well, there's nothing after that. You know what I'm saying? It's a very vain goal. To be real, all of what I do, I love it so much. I would do it for free, if I knew I was good. I do the mentorship for free. Sometimes I do the book touring, for free, just, for that exposure and spreading that. So, yeah, man, don't do it for the money. People get this quote wrong all the time, right? People say money is the root to all evil. No, it's the love for it. If you love money, then you'll probably do almost anything for it. And, you don't want to, be that person out just do anything for money. So, yeah.
Oh, also, don't get too discouraged about what people on the outside are telling you about being an entrepreneur, because there's a lot of people that are still slaves mentally, and the only thing that they see, especially, we kind of talked about it off air about the generation before us. The generation before us is stuck on retirement plans and Social Security. You need to work, and we are in the generation where we dream. We believe that we can do anything we put our minds to, and we this is the generation of the entrepreneur, but we still work at the same time.
We don't mind working.
We don't mind working, but it's like people, if you listening to some people, they'll never encourage you to do your own thing. And I think there was a post that was saying something like, I make a post about me getting a job, I get 200 likes. I make a post about me opening my own business, I barely get 10.
Man.
So it's like
you get a little promotion, you get all these comments and shit, but you sign up a new client or something, it's okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but don't get discouraged. Sometimes you gotta be your biggest cheerleader, and it's gonna be very lonely in it sometimes. So just be aware that that's gonna happen, and just learn to roll with it. Like, it's just something that you gotta roll with, and it's just it's temporary. It's a tide. So
I would tell a lot of new entrepreneurs, like, if you're not mentally strong, don't spend a lot of your time on social media trying to look for, was it clarification? I think the word.
Yeah, validation.
Yeah, because my thing is two things. So with social media, for one, like, a lot of people, I mean, even me, I'm just on there. Used to just be on there, just scroll. I'm just looking. I'm tapping through. I'm not really paying attention to what is on there. Mm-hmm. I'm not really appreciating what I'm seeing. And if you're an artist and you're an entrepreneur and you're putting out stuff, you want people to appreciate it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the era we're in, people are just on social media just to be entertained and get distracted. So what I'm saying is, don't put too much into your social media if you're not mentally strong, because you will get discouraged and you will quit. I've seen a lot of people quit because they're not getting their engagements, they're not getting their likes and their views,
or they're comparing themselves to other people that's doing something similar. You know what I mean?
And I'll say this for the person who isn't that mentally strong. Spend more time. The more you spend time in your own mind, the stronger you'll get. Mm-hmm. People aren't mentally strong because they're constantly listening to something. They're constantly looking at something. They don't give any time for their mind to reset and to flush out. I look at my mind as a muscle, okay? The same way, you work out, I look at it as the digestive system. The same way you got to flush out, your body, and you go to the restroom, you got to do the same thing with your mind. And that's how I look at, of course, my morning meditations is, all right, cool. Let me get my mind prepared for the day, focus on what I need to do. Let me dump out anything else, that I don't need, because me personally, I'm a extremely bad overthinker. I've been such a bad overthinker to the point to where I would just stare, just stop and be there for like 5 minutes. I used to teach art at the Boys and Girls Club last year, and I actually initially took on meditating because I realized how stressful and how much planning went into it. So, definitely, like I said, to keep that mental strength, meditate, spend time in your own mind, and focusing on what that goal is. Yeah.
Have y'all heard about Instagram working on, first of all, there's a couple of things they're working on. They're going to take, so you know how you go on Instagram, you can see how many posts somebody posts, their followers, and then their following. They're going to take that and put it at the bottom of the page. So when you go to somebody's profile, you don't see no numbers. And for two, what they're planning on doing, which I don't know what they're going to do, they're going to take, they're going to take your likes and they're going to take your views away. So you can personally see how many likes and views you get, but if I go to your page, I don't see that. All I see is your picture.
Okay.
Is that true though?
It's a rumor.
I've heard about that. Now, I will say this. I definitely agree with the follower, that follower part. I definitely agree with that follower part. I'm going to have to think a little bit on the other part as far as other people not being able to see your likes.
I love it though.
Because, and I get it, and I know the positivity from that. I like the intention. I'm gonna say that. I need to spend a little bit more time thinking about
the concept. Is cool
because I want to think about it from all angles.
The concept is cool because for a couple of reasons. Like, if I'm a brand, if I'm Target, and I want to sponsor you, and I go to your page and you've got 20,000 views and a couple of comments, I'm gonna try to sponsor you, but you're not really getting those real engagements because nobody's really talking to you or saying anything. All you're doing is getting views. And views is one thing, but you gotta understand a view is just somebody that's looking and can keep scrolling. They're not really might not pay attention.
Exactly.
It's just a view. You know what I mean? So if I'm a brand and I want to get somebody who gets a lot of engagement, and really you don't get that engagement, then I'm gonna feel bad as a brand and sponsoring you. And for two, if I'm somebody who's living off my likes and living off my views, if you're not, I mean, if you look at it that way, if you take that away and people aren't seeing how many likes and views you're getting, it really is going to come down to your content.
Yeah.
Like, you really got to post good content, or you can see how much views and likes you're getting, but for the most part, I see a lot of people. I understand the game. Like, you want to get those views up, you want to get those engagements up, so when people come to your page, they see that, and then now they want to become part of what's going on. But if they don't see that, now they're basing everything off what you posted. Mm-hmm. So now it's gonna weave out some people who don't really put out good content, and it's gonna make people who do put out good content put better content out now, because it's just gonna just level it up. So I'm all for it. I want to see it happen, and I want to see how people, like, who survives and who don't. I know some people gonna fall off. You know what I mean? I know I'm not gonna fall off, because I understand how this shit works, and I understand that at the end of the day, the likes and the views, even if they do keep it, it's still irrelevant. Like, if you're not making no income, if you're not happy, then all of that shit is out the window in the first place. But I'm all for it. I kind of want to see how it goes.
Nah, I feel you. I think for people's mind and their mental health, and just, of course, not putting so much stock into social media. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's very, very important from a business standpoint. It might work for some people. It might not. I think as long as you can still see those, that engagement, that's important. Because I know for me, as far as how I choose to use my Instagram, I'm trying to create like a family atmosphere almost, in a sense. My clients, we have a group chat, on our page, and I post certain content that only, of course, they can see, because you can do the whole close friends thing, right? So I just only thing is I wonder if it's gonna affect, if people choose to engage on your post, because some people will engage. Some people are motivated to engage when they see other engagement, right? But if they can't see other engagement,
But then then that comes into, like, is your content good? Because I might not engage because other people are engaging, but still, if I still like what you posted, I want to, at least leave a comment.
Yeah. I think the comment,
they're not taking away the comments. I think we'll still be able to see people's comments. We just won't be able to see how many likes they got.
Okay, true. No, you're right. I still do think even likes and views still motivate some people to comment. I mean, even if like I don't know, like, I feel like it's not too black and white when it comes to each individual and how they choose to operate on people's pages. I feel like some people, are more motivated when they see a lot of comments. Some people, are a little more are still motivated if they just see like likes or views. So, but I mean, it still be interesting to see how that plays out. But hey, I just know one thing, man. Instagram need to choose how they want to operate and stick to that, man, because they've changed so many times.
It's not even changing. I think it's more of an evolving thing. Like, as far as technology keeps getting better, they gotta evolve. I mean, Blockbuster didn't evolve.
Right.
So I feel like the changing, it does get annoying a little bit when they change it and then change it right back to what it originally was. Mm-hmm. That's annoying. But I understand they gotta test it. We're test subjects to them. So I understand. If the algorithm and the computer's getting smarter, they're gonna have to change the way Instagram works. You know what I mean? So
I don't know if this is a real thing. I feel like this is something that Kanye West suggested, and then people are making it a
I didn't know Kanye West suggested.
Yeah, he's the one who even brought this whole thing up, because he's sensitive and he feels like people care too much about likes and all this. Honestly, I feel like, this is what Instagram is for. So it's like, if we change this about Instagram, it's changing what we even got.
Well, Instagram is what it is a photo sharing app. So I see what you're saying.
Right. We want to see who likes it. We want to see the comments. We want to see how many posts you have, because how many posts you have determines if I even want to follow you.
But because if you're not posting down to your content now, it's always going down solely to your content. Like, if I can't see no numbers, I want to see what you're posting, and now that's gonna determine. So like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know how. I gotta see how it goes, really.
Yo, Facebook has music on it now.
What you mean?
Man, I saw it. I need to look at it.
I think
but you can put music on your Facebook really? Now. MySpace is
everything that's happening on Facebook is gonna happen to Instagram too.
Because they're both. Yeah.
What I think is gonna happen, I think YouTube's gonna start signing people I think they're gonna come out with a record label.
You say YouTube?
Because you know who owns YouTube Music, right? New York Cohen.
Yeah.
You know who that is, right? Yeah. I think he might start signing people to YouTube. So I think YouTube.
I wouldn't doubt it. He already dropping views and stuff. So.
Yeah, so I think YouTube is going to be like the platform, and I think when I'm looking at Instagram as your commercial platform, like you put all your good shit on YouTube and promote it on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm looking at it now.
YouTube is going to be a record label, a university,
it's going to be
cooking
everything.
channel.
So IGTV ain't much of competition,
I've
right?
never even touched IGTV.
I used
People
it.
posting videos.
It's interesting. I did something on Monday. I did like a cooking video, and it got over 2,000.
Yeah.
Like IGTV is low key kind of lit, man.
It's popping now.
I never
It's
touched
definitely popping now.
It's kind of lit, man.
All right, we're gonna go to a little 5-minute break. We're gonna let the microphone keep rolling, but I'm gonna let the people who are listening and who are listening on here and who are listening on the webpage.
Oh, I forgot that was
Go get yourself something to drink. Go take a little break. You guys can still listen to us do some, I guess, kind of off microphone talking. Even though microphone.
I should have ate some food. That's what I should have done.
But I didn't see nothing on
We
the
got some
way.
fruit. I got some Little Caesars pizza. I think.
What side of town you was coming from?
But,
I'm coming from Austell.
Oh, damn.
All right, so this is Flex Talk Podcast with our two special guests. Give it a little 5-minute break. You guys can still listen to it. It's still going to be on, but give it a little 5 minutes before we start talking about some real stuff. Now, when we get back on, we'll be talking about, this will be our fitness segment. So we're going to talk about fitness for like a good 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. And once 1 o'clock hits, we'll go into, I think I want to talk about, I've been reading up on, and my thing, I like conspiracies. My thing with conspiracies, and this we're off camera, so y'all can go take that break. But my thing about conspiracies is, I'll listen to them if they make sense, but you gotta make it make sense to me. You gotta entertain me. You know, I'm not gonna agree with you or disagree, but I'll listen to you if you make sense. Now, if you don't make sense, and I'm doing research and I can't really find stuff, then I throw it out the window. But if you give me some stuff and I can really look it up and it starts to, and as long as I can connect the dots with certain things, I'll entertain your conspiracy. So we'll be talking about conspiracies. I want to talk about the simulation in the Matrix, what we talked about last night.
Mankind. Check. Mankind. Check. Yo, I've been told I was a fool since a little kid. High school, I was hanging out with the cool kids. This is way back when I ain't know what cool meant. Hammer and some loose screws chilled in my toolkit. Clever really, was never really a school kid. True shit, I'm not sure how old I was when the rules hit. Hank Aaron calling a shot. Playing baseball, 8-ball in the side pocket with the pool stick. My mama told me I was such a fool. I went to war, I came back like another dude. You know how it feels to feel like another you, huh? Reminiscing about flying, running through the fire, escaping the Messiah on 100 proof, running shoot. Gunning troop was the move, too big was the shoes. Trying to stay alive was the move. I was a fucking fool, like what you fighting for? This can't be real.
You're listening to Flex Talk, a Banana Pudding Productions podcast. For more information, please visit flexlanta.com.
I thought that I was fumble proof. In the mirror like who the fuck is you?
I pledged allegiance. I placed my hand across my heart. I crossed my heart and hope to die. Confess my love, got no reply. No surprise party, I survived hardly. I surmised I was partly insane, thinking a uniform and fighting in the army would change how I was recognized. Guess it was foolish that I expected a better life. Just cause I fought for it, just cause I bled, and for all the people I lost for it. I paid the cost for it. It's Black History Month. I'm trying to march forward.
We're about to get into our fitness segment. We're going to start with Brandon. I'm going to ask him about his do's and don'ts in the gym. We're going to talk about, having clients and what kind of clients you're looking for and what do you expect from your clients. We'll cover your meal plans as far as, how important eating is. We'll talk about your workout regimen and different gyms in Atlanta. I know you've been to the Loft before, Madhouse Gym, shit like that. But we'll first talk about your do's and don'ts. So if you're in the gym, let's just talk about you yourself. What are some of the things you try not to do in the gym. Like for me, I don't run on the treadmill. I'd rather go run outside.
Yeah.
I'd rather do like when they call it the HIIT workouts. I'd rather do that outside of the gym. So for you, like, what are some of the things like you like to do, like that, and some of the things that you don't like to do?
Well, for one, I'll say is when you're going to be intentional with everything, you know, in the gym with your exercise and fitness, you know, have a goal, have a plan for that goal. If you ballpark everything, you're gonna get ballpark results. All right, so have a plan. Now shoot, I mean, I'll say me. I used to be on elliptical. I mean, heavy, you know, way back when. But I mean, I've started to appreciate, you know, being outside, you know, for cardio more. Leave your ego at the door. Leave your ego at the door because.
What do you mean by that? For some people who aren't really into the gym,
this is what I mean. If you 6'2", 3", whatever, and you see my 5'5.5" self lifting mad weight, and you feel like, oh, you should be able to lift it too because you got a whole nother human foot of height on me.
Yeah,
do not, because you will be embarrassed. Okay. I can't tell you how many times, you know, I'll be invited to maybe like a LA Fitness or a Gold's Gym, you know, somewhere a friend works out, and I'm lifting, you know, whatever I work with, and then somebody, you know, who's seemingly bigger feels like they could do the same thing. Like, no, come on, we're in here to work. I built up. Like, do what you can do. Yeah. But that's the most important thing I'm gonna say about when you be in a gym. Just leave your ego. You can get injured. You can die. All right, just keep it safe and do what your body can handle. But yeah, me, I mean, when I'm going in the gym, you know, it could be, I can have music, I can not have music.
Well, how do you feel about that? Like, my thing is, I'd rather not have headphones on when I work out.
I feel like if you can work out with without music, you have a strong mentality for it. And I've strengthened my mind to that point. I mean, if I leave my headphones, you know, the world isn't over. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, sometimes I need that extra motivational push. Sometimes you just, you know, won't be feeling it sometimes. So, yeah, I'm most of the time it's music.
Yeah, I remember when I was working out consistently. If I got to the gym and my at this time I was using the iPod. So if I got to the gym and my iPod had died or whatever, that ended the whole workout. I would just leave. Really? Yeah. Like for me, because I would run like a mile or mile and a half on the treadmill, but I hated the treadmill. But when I was working out, so Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays we'll run the W and OD trail. That was like it's like an 80-mile trail, and it picks up at different points throughout Northern Virginia. So my coworkers and I, we run like 3-4 miles Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would go to the gym and get my cardio in there. And so I would go and I would get on the treadmill, and I hated the treadmill. So the compensation was for getting on the treadmill was having my music. But on the rare occasions when I would get there and my iPod was dead, I would just go home.
Yeah,
I would just go home, bro.
No, I get that. No, I sometimes, you know, I will have that, you know, I have moments where I'm in a car, listen to music for about 5 minutes to get my head prepared. It just really depends on how I'm doing on that day. Yeah. But you know, it could be either or.
The best workouts are usually without the headphones. Honestly, like I think when I used to work out, I used to wear gloves, and then one day I didn't have my gloves. I had a good ass workout, and never wore gloves again. I think it just depends on my mood. Like I can work out without headphones. Now working out in complete silence is weird, but usually most gyms have like their speakers playing.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. But like with headphones, like I have a gym playlist, but I don't mind not wearing my headphones.
You see, you know what? I'm not cool with that. I don't like the music that they play at the gym. I hate the announcements. Yeah, and you know, I did not think about that until you brought it up and you said you were cool with it, and I said, you know what, that's irritating to me. Like, because I had a membership at Gold's, and so you know I guess all the gym memberships now they have the televisions all around. But Gold's in Northern Virginia, they were like one of the first ones to kind of modernize, from what I recall. And so the televisions are everywhere, and they got the music playing. And at Gold's, they would play like top 50 pop songs. And I just
that's bad.
I mean, it's just irritating.
So look at Madhouse. We actually control the playlist. We have a big speaker.
Yeah,
man, we just blast that thing, throw on them iron plates around. Man, I feel like a monster in that gym. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, is this your gym?
Yeah, it's like
okay.
it's like old school, like got mad machines. It's dirty.
Chalk.
We got a bin for chalk.
Yeah.
You can be shirtless.
That's when you know you're at a real gym. If you got a whole section and a spot for your chalk, that's when you know you're in a gym for real.
And see, and you know what? It's funny because like the gym that my wife and I joined up with now, it's Planet Fitness, and they have it in there. It's funny.
Oh boy, don't get me
If
started on Planet Fitness.
If you drop your weight or if you grunt too loud, I think there's a sign.
The lunk alarm.
Planet Fitness I love them because they're business and they get their money. That's fine, but I hate them because
they're evil. Okay, no, look, man, no,
you represent.
Look, seriously, people say, Planet Fitness, they're business model, they're genius because they are the fastest growing. No, it's evil genius because honestly, what it is, their whole motto. What they're doing is they're preying on people's insecurities and then putting their temptations right back into their face. My whole Get Gone brand. When I first made up that phrase in 2013, it was in combat to Planet Fitness and their whole business. The difference is Planet Fitness, they preach intimidation, no gym intimidation, all that, right? Get Gone is about the motivated. The difference between somebody who's intimidated and somebody who's motivated is the lack of potential that they see in themselves. If you don't see the potential in yourself, then you'll be intimidated by something. If you see the potential, then you're motivated because you know you can get to there. And I just can't stand everything about Planet Fitness. You can literally Google the news articles and see all the ridiculous stories. But you know what? I will.
It's not, and it's not even just Planet Fitness. I mean, Gold's Gym started out with a more of a old school type of a gym mindset, but as they grew and as more women joined, they also adopted the same stance as that Planet Fitness is known for too. So like even if you go to Gold's Gym now, where a lot of the bodybuilders originally in the 80s used to work out, even there they have a rule on not being too loud, and it's all again because they don't want to scare people away and intimidate certain people.
I slowly skated out of the gym industry because I see this coming. Of course they see Planet Fitness as the fastest growing because they're preying on people's intimidation. Now let me say this before I continue. Anybody who works out at Planet Fitness now, anybody who works out anywhere for any goal, that's respectable to any individual. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's affordable, and that's why a lot of people are there as well. You know what I'm saying? I got beef with the company, not the members. But godly, what was it I was responding to?
Just how the reason why they're doing that is because intimidate the customers.
Okay, yeah, I got it. So these gyms, they see their business model, so now they're slowly modeling themselves, towards that, so they can make more sales. I used to work at a Gold's Gym off of East West Connector, and I'm doing deadlifts, I would notice
it's a loud exercise.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, if it's loud, get some deadlift mats. You know what I'm saying? To drown out some of the noise. This is Gold's Gym. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Exactly.
You telling me I can't do deadlifts in here? Are you serious? So I mean, it's just crazy to me. Even at Anytime Fitness, the gym I was working at, there's just, I could see that their crowd is, they have a very mixed crowd, and it's a little more seniors now. So even there, like, there are people that are into, as a black dude, you know what I'm saying, I've ran a situation where just because I was that some some older white senior was intimidated by me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's like no, like yo, I've worked with so many people up to 90 years old. So I mean, I think gyms just gotta realize they can't please everybody. Find a niche and cater to just those people, and you're gonna make the money. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just what's happening. You're trying to cater towards everybody, but it's really cutting out the people who are serious about fitness. Working out, because you can't squat, deadlift, or free bench at Planet Fitness. Those are the 3 most important exercises.
They don't even have like a squat rack, do they? They got a machine.
This is what happened. Years ago, they used to have squat racks. Basically, some older person wasn't at that gym for a while, and he said, squat racks. He hadn't been there for a while because squat racks intimidate him. Well, the employee took that review to the manager. The manager submitted that review to the CEO. Next thing you know, Planet Fitness comes out with the announcement, at the top of the year, we're replacing all of our squat racks with Smith machines to keep a non-gym intimidation environment. Like, are you serious? I mean, it's like, how weak is America gonna get? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're mentally, health-wise, spiritually, America is just dead last. Like, if we're comparing ourselves to major countries.
And then I don't understand. Okay, to a certain extent, I guess maybe a little bit I understand what you were saying earlier on about maybe people not having confidence in that being why they're maybe they're intimidated. But I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't understand why so many of these commercial gyms are adopting this same type of models where they're catering to people that are people that don't want to be bothered with what goes on in a real workout. You get grunting in the workout.
Because it's trendy.
Well, you know what?
Okay. So piggyback on what you just said, it's trendy. And I noticed this even when I was working out, is that part of that trendiness is like people showing up at the gym talking, like dudes like trying to hit on.
Let's keep it all the way
trying
real.
to hit on girls, like, and they're being in the way.
You know what? Let's keep it all the way real. What market is controlling the gym industry the most? Women. Women. That's what it is. Because most dudes are too prideful, right, to listen to another dude, give him fitness advice and tell him what to do. I mean, I can't tell you how many boyfriends have kept their girls from training with me.
All the time. Husbands too. They're like, man, I don't want your girl.
Exactly, bro. Like, you shouldn't be with her if you can't trust her.
You come work out with her. Come on, what's going on? Right at the house.
Exactly.
So that really is a big problem.
That is a thing.
It is.
That is literally a thing.
But one thing I think the gym industry, the fitness industry has done, which it kind of have to almost repair in a sense, is because of cute, little marketing tactics, to get people to buy into their fitness or product, right? You have a lot of miseducation in people's mind when it comes to fitness too. So when I hate the word toning, like toning is building muscle and lowering body fat. It's not, cute little build muscle a little bit, so you don't look like the whole. No, you're not gonna like. It's like I know, Chris, you right here with me. You know what I mean?
I don't even acknowledge it. I just continue the conversation. Like I used to point it out. I said, stop saying tone.
Right.
Now I just let people say it.
Just say,
it's a trend. Like,
so it's like,
I don't even know what tone means.
So it's like in the way people market, like, so now everybody has this false perception of what toning is, right? Or what building muscle, or how muscle works.
So I don't understand.
Or how body fat works.
So what's the false perception? What are they saying?
So so by definition, the word toning just means building muscle, lowering body fat. Okay. The thing is that people think that you can actually shape muscle, right? But
that's your DNA. You can't control.
Exactly. All muscle does is shrink and grow. Now, depending on if you know how to hit certain muscle fibers, certain ways, things like that, will of course determine that a little bit. But a lot of women, and some guys too, they think like like toning in their mind is like building is just like sculpting. It's automatic hourglass. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what it is. You know, so for me, I just teach my clients basic raw, like, you know, you're learning macros, you're learning calories, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Because if you learn that, now you learn how to eat to manipulate your body. You know what I'm saying? You know, go ahead. I know I'm gonna jump all over the place.
Toning is, I mean, people come to me and say, "Hey, I want to tone." I used to be like, what I don't even.
This is what I say. This is what I always say. I say, give me your definition of what toning is.
Because
and they usually can't give me a definition either. They just have in their mind. They probably got a poster of you know, some white woman in a yoga.
They just don't know.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know.
They just don't understand. They don't understand like what society is doing now, what social media is doing now. It's making it look like you can get in shape in a month.
It's not true.
No. You can't.
Photoshop fitness.
Photoshop fitness, for real. You know what I mean? Social media is an illusion. And another thing I hate is when clients, you probably get this too, clients come to me and say, "Hey, I want to look like her."
Oh my God! Yo!
I know her. Second of all, that's not how she looks.
I know her.
I'm not going to put her shit out there, but don't put that.
She was just bald-headed last week.
Put your phone down, you know what I mean? Like, I understand the game. Like, once I started doing pictures and shit, I understand I can make this microphone look 10 feet tall if I wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yo,
so once I started learning that, and you can start looking at people's pictures and see what they've done.
Let me tell you, I've been a graphic designer since 2007.
So yeah, you know that too. You know Photoshop more than I do.
Yo, I'm telling you, some of these big names. I'm zooming and I'm seeing the little stretch marks in the photo. Like,
I shouldn't look at the pictures.
I can call out some names, but I'm not because I'm not a hater.
I can't do that to people, but it's real. It's real out there. Fitness is an illusion, and they taking everybody money, which I understand the hustle, it's whatever, but it's like it's lame.
You know what? The most I've ever done to a photo, man, when I was like young, like early freshman in high school, I used to Photoshop a little mustache on some of my photos. I was like that's about it. That's about us.
But you're not telling how to grow hair.
No, exactly. I'm just saying that's about.
I don't want to. And a girl actually did this. I mean, you probably know her. I'm not going to say her name, but she had butt implants, and she would sell leg workouts and fitness. You know what I mean? And then she came out and got them took out, and she's like, "Hey, my butt was fake this whole time." Right. A lot of people didn't know. I knew that because I know her. But a lot of people didn't know her butt was fake, and she's selling fitness. I don't think you should sell fitness with fake body parts.
You can't, man. That's like that. That's
cheating, bro.
It's like
steroids is one thing, but if you're getting surgery, like steroids, I don't do steroids obviously, but I'm cool with it because I understand that game. But if you're getting surgery, that's a different thing.
Yeah, you got maintenance. Thing. Like those surgeries, you got to keep up maintenance on those things.
Yeah, people want to get their tummy tuck and think they're only 25 and getting their tummy tuck. Like, you understand, you got to go back when you're 40, and then when you're 50, and then when you're 60. Like, you might as well just work out.
You know, like I said, it's all about mentality. You know, it's just a very lazy. We made it a very convenient sit down society. So it's just easy for people to want just the easy route all the time. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, man, you're going to feel better about yourself if you worked for it. Because you know, oh, that's your genetics. That's what you know actually
man,
did.
But they're teaching children to be just like how the adults are now, which is lazy. Because even in the schools, in elementary school now, I was reading in some of the counties, they don't even have PE anymore. So when are you able to, as a child, go run and play, but more importantly, learn and grow into like the active lifestyle? It's not even encouraged.
And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with the books, man, because I'm trying to keep that. Actually, another goal, I forgot to say this. One of my goals is to actually start a nonprofit to get clean meals to schools as an alternative, because the cafeteria food is literally killing.
I won't mention the school on that.
Within those first 5 years of development in a kid's brain, having those foods that has arsenics, pesticides, steroids, blood, all of that in it, it's literally giving them, it's literally causing these mental issues that they have in schools and setting up for dementia and Alzheimer's in the far future. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like, it's literal poison
and cancer too.
I think that's the point though, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Let me say this though. For a long time, we all know that money has ran the industry in a sense, the education industry for fitness. They, the whole thing is, almost screwing people over a little bit to make a profit. But one thing that I think is good is that America has finally gotten to the point to where they realize they're really not making a profit off of the pharmaceutical company business like they think they are. What's happening is that much like Silver Sneakers is an insurance company that pays for gym memberships for their members. Well, now more insurance companies are realizing that exercise is medicine, right? Way to be late to the party. Me working at Anytime Fitness, we were working with Emory, right? We had
that conversation before.
Right, yeah. We had Anytime Fitness had a meeting with Emory. And you can imagine a room with doctors and then personal trainers. Imagine what that debate was like. You know what I'm saying?
I can picture it. Yeah.
But basically, they were just talking about how they're doing case studies now. So obviously, in all these other countries, they have their case studies, they have their charts and their standards for what health is. But obviously, America can't just go off of those. We have to have our own case studies to, do stuff. So what they're doing is now they're sending patients to Anytime Fitnesses to study how their body, comes out of whatever condition they have with exercise, right? Now, exercise is medicine, but I wish they started with nutrition. But, at least they're doing something, right? Yeah. So now America is slowly getting to the point to where they're starting to offer more health and fitness benefits instead of just the prescription drugs, because they're not making profit like they thought they were off of prescription drugs.
And then I would say, I don't know, all I can speak to is the school that I'm at. So I'm in DeKalb County, and
I'm working with DeKalb a lot. Actually.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So do you go to the high schools too?
I haven't been to the high schools. I've been to some of the elementary though.
Okay.
Rainbow was actually
Elementary.
Was actually I was there 2 weeks ago.
Have you been to Snapfinger?
Snapfinger, no, not yet. But I'll actually at Rainbow I'll be doing. I'll be the speaker for their seminar on the 23rd. Their ceremony.
Okay.
The 5th grade. So
Okay. Well, I'm at a high school, and just Friday I was just.
What do you do at the high school?
So I'm I'm in the counseling office. I'm like a data clerk. I keep track of students that enroll, that transfer, and I keep up with those numbers because they ultimately affect our graduation rates, which affects funding and how well the school is perceived by parents and people looking to move into the neighborhoods and all that stuff. So it's, but I was in the lunchroom on Friday, and I was just kind of looking at what the kids were eating, and I was just like, man, this is disgusting. But more importantly, I was like, how is it that we know all this information now? You got the Whole Foods revolution, and people are supposed to be so. You're talking about eating clean and stuff like that, but yet the children, or at least certain children, are still being subjected to these disgusting, nasty meals. Cancer-ridden. I think you mentioned Alzheimer's, whatever, but everyone knows now these meals are laced with salt, and they're given to the kids.
It's like how does your government get away with these things almost when it's blatant? Almost, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, what do you do, huh?
Because they own it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they own it.
Same people that own the food. I mean, they're teaching the kids too.
But it's crazy in other countries. I see videos and stuff all the time where they're freaking the courts, rioting and getting things changed super easy. That's why I keep speaking to America's mentality, like we're just so kind of weak and lazy mentality that we don't really take control of our country like that. You know what I'm saying?
And then and the thing is, it's like, so there, 6 months ago there was a time period where you had people that were running up to members in the Trump administration, like on their private time. So like maybe when they were out in D.C. eating lunch with their friends or whatever, you had concerned citizens that were going up to these politicians and calling them out on their bullshit. Mm-hmm. And what was interesting about that was that you had everyone in the media establishment on both sides of the aisle, liberals, conservatives, everybody in between, calling these people out saying, well, you shouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't. There's a certain type of etiquette you should have. You shouldn't disturb politicians on their private time. And I'm just thinking like, no, you want more of that. I mean, you want people, if someone is influencing healthcare policy in a nefarious kind of way just to fatten their pockets or to get in good with pharmaceutical companies and they don't have my best interest at heart, I mean, that's something, isn't that something that, I mean, maybe not in that specific instance, like justify violence maybe, but it does justify letting them know exactly how you feel and that and calling them out and letting you know that they're BSing with your time and also with your tax dollars. People got to be held accountable, man. Like, and so I think that plays to what you were saying early on about just the mentality in this country, generally speaking. Like, a lot of the fighters are gone.
We gotta realize it was set up that way. You know what I'm saying? It was set up that way in a way for people to have this blind over their eye in a way to anything to everything. But that's no excuse anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just got to be more people finding out what to do and how to do it. Like I have a cousin, he's in politics. Now he's a Republican. And I don't claim any party or nothing like that. I'm completely independent minded. But I'm not gonna sit here, and be like, oh, you coon, like you a Republican now. I'm telling him though, look, you're in, okay. This is good. You being a black person, you have some type of influence in here to change something. You know what I'm saying? Find other like-minded people, whatever, in this party, because we have to infiltrate these organizations that we have issues with. You know what I'm saying? We have to get hired in some of these places. We have to have people in them making decisions. Mm-hmm. So it can't be like just a pointing fingers type of thing.
I know what you mean.
So, you want to touch on some fitness?
Well, I just started training with Body by Kamani. Shout out to her. She owns Smart Bites, which is also a meal prep. And the food be banging and it's clean. So make sure y'all check out Smart Bites. Make sure you check out Body by Kamani. And it's tough. I'm really sore like right now from my workout on Friday. So I go to Snap Fitness in Buckhead, and I'm just she's really good because she's been teaching me just when I'm doing the workout or whatever workout I'm doing, like what it's actually doing for my body. Like, okay, what muscles this targets, and I don't feel, because I was feeling a little self-conscious because I haven't done anything like seriously since I graduated. Like I haven't worked out like for real since I graduated high school. Like I mean, I run and hoop and play basketball every now and again, but I'm not like going to I didn't even like weight training in high school. Like that was just never my thing. So it's like now I'm doing it, and I was self-conscious at first, but I guess the thing we y'all were talking about earlier, Snap Fitness is, they're pretty good. No one really does anything to intimidate you like at that gym. And I'm so far so good. I'm just sore, and I'm getting back into the swing of things.
Snap Fitness was actually the first gym I worked for. First gym I was started personal training at in Miramar. So, but it's good. You sound like you have an actual good coach, man. One thing I think that's important, what separates like your average personal trainer and a real health and fitness coach. A lot of personal trainers just tell you what to do, and you may get to your goal, but what did you actually learn after you got to your goal? A coach is gonna tell you why and what you're doing every single thing, so you have lasting information. If you ever find yourself back at where you was, well, now you know how to get back to there. Right. So.
And she's watching me like just to make sure I'm doing it the right way, because you can easily strain a muscle or something. So.
Do you think that I'm gonna ask Brandon this? Do you think the industry is saturated with trainers?
So I'll say this. I think the fact that the fitness community is still so small compared to everybody else, it's not oversaturated because you got way more unhealthy people out here than actual healthy people. Now, what it is oversaturated with is coaches that aren't actually passionate about what they do, and people spreading misinformation,
like gimmicks.
And gimmicks and just inauthenticity. At the end of the day, so when I'm taking on clients, sometimes I'm taking them on from okay, I have to this person has to relearn everything that they think they know. Yeah. I have to reteach them. They think that the first question they should ask me is what exercise should I do to burn fat here, or what food I should even eat to burn here. I tell them, no, you don't even start with food. You start with macros. All right. We don't eat food. I don't eat a apple just because it's apple. I eat the apple for the nutrients that's in the apple. So now what you got to ask yourself is, okay, what calories, carbohydrates, proteins, fats do you need in a day to maintain muscle or build muscle or lose body fat, whatever. Once you master macronutrients, calories, carbs, proteins, fats, now you know how to eat in a way to manipulate your body. Now, another way is what I coach people is blood type diet eating. Now, that's another way that has been widely accepted in a lot of different countries. And that's, seems weird to a lot of Americans. But, based off of your blood type, certain foods will cause your cells to clump together and clog, so where people get random heart attacks and blood clots can come from constantly eating certain foods that disrupt your blood. Okay. So that's also how I subscribe to. Like some people are supposed like it's so funny. I think 90% of vegans are miseducated in the United States. Everybody thinks, like it's a trend. Like, oh, everybody wants to go get the slutty vegan photo, right? Yeah. And I actually want to go and check them out one of these days.
Oh, is that the restaurant?
Yeah, right. That's a big thing, yeah. But some people are supposed to be vegetarians. Okay. A positive. Some people are supposed to be carnivores. Some people are supposed to be more so pescatarian. That makes sense. So, based off of your blood type, your family, if we're really going to talk about what it's boiled down to, it's going to, determine based off of how you should be eating.
You say that because I remember years ago we went to a holistic, doctor. And she actually did blood tests on us.
And they say you were allergic to everything, right?
Yeah.
And when you do that, you don't take that and be like, oh, shoot, like I need to live in a bubble. Like, no, like, just certain things, some things will be so subtle, such a subtle reaction, your body doesn't even matter.
Wouldn't you know if you were allergic to it?
Well, no, not all the time. So like with dairy, right? I used to be, quote unquote, lactose intolerant, right? Now I say it with quotes because there's no such thing as lactose intolerance. We're just not supposed to be drinking milk from cows.
The only mammal that drinks other mammals' milk. No other mammal, they all drink their own milk.
Right.
The only species, or whatever you want to call it, that drinks somebody else's milk.
Yeah, almond milk and silk. Y'all go look that up.
I love almond milk.
But, and I would get so sick to where I had ear infections, and the milk would spoil it in my stomach, and I'd throw it up in chunks. Like, it was bad, But, out of, over time, my body became immune. So I can actually have dairy and not feel, but I'll still get congested, a little bit. My nose might get, clogged up. Okay. So say if I wasn't intaking dairy early on in life and I started now, well, I might not notice that I'm just a little more congested when I eat dairy. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes things can be so subtle that we don't even realize, it's affecting us.
I think that the thing that I learned from that experience from the holistic doctor is that you have to really personalize and customize your healthcare.
You do,
and that health systems are more geared towards the one size fits all type of
exactly, and that's the issue, man.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah. I think that, and I think that I didn't hear or I'm just getting now familiar with this. So you call it blood.
Blood type. I even have an app for a blood type diet.
And so you're saying like based on your blood type, there's certain types of foods that maybe you should stay away from.
Yeah, and it doesn't always mean that it affects your stomach. It doesn't mean it's gonna affect basically it just means everything gets absorbed into our bloodstream. And certain foods, cause our blood cells to react in certain ways.
Okay.
And so that's all it, really is. So for me, right, being B positive. So you have foods, this is how you categorize foods. As highly beneficial, meaning that it will actually make you healthier. Foods that are neutral, they don't really have much effect on you at all. And then you have foods that are an avoid. So for me, being B positive, chicken is actually an avoid, right?
Oh, really?
But beef and lamb and goat and certain things are actually highly beneficial for me, right? Okay. Now beef we already know is a harder to digest meat, but all that means is that to my blood, like it's beneficial. Okay. To my digestive system, I need to portion out correctly so I'm not, on the toilet for days, right? So, I'm all about the blood type, diet eating. Not knowing your blood type is like not knowing your name almost.
I don't know my name.
I don't know my blood type.
What's yours? Do you know?
No, I don't know my blood
type. So nobody knows their blood type. A, B, O.
I mean, and now what I'm learning today is I need to figure it out.
Is it on my birth certificate?
No. Whatever last appointment that you had that you remember any type of blood work was done. Maybe you could probably just call that hospital or doctor's office, even if it was maybe like from a year ago, and they should still have your records.
Because I don't even have anybody to ask.
Or go give blood.
Do you have the same blood as your parents or no?
Your blood type is gonna, it's based off, genetics. So I think my mom is B positive. I don't know what my dad is, but based off, of course, whatever your parents' blood type is, you could be either or.
I have no clue. I'll have to really go to the doctor and
figure it out.
Yeah. But no, you're right. It does. Your diet has to be very personal, even down to when families are cooking, lunch or dinner or whatever. Every person's plate should be portioned, and then. Depending on who has a B or positive, whatever, some people food should be looking different, on each plate, So
This is why I stepped away from training for real, because I'm not gonna talk to somebody about that. I'm gonna tell you to come work out, and then you should understand how to eat healthy. That's why I be saluting a lot of trainers. I don't really consider myself a trainer. If anything, I'm an athletic trainer. I can train somebody how to jump fast and to jump high and run fast. I'm not finna explain macros and micros to nobody. I'm just not gonna do that. I definitely, I limited my clients, and because I don't want to just be training people for their money. I want to be able to give them, the whole background and shit, how to lose weight and how to gain weight. I can't explain to you more so than go eat some chicken, go have a salad, drink water, like he can explain it to you. But if I got somebody who wants to be able to jump and touch a 12-foot rim and want to be able to, run a 40 in whatever time, that's my specialty. Okay. I can break that down into a science.
Performance,
You know what I mean? But when it comes to, like he's saying, the eating and the blood types, nope.
Like a performance.
Yeah. Honestly, man, what I want to do is I need to create a course, man, or there needs to be a course where kids should be learning blood macronutrients and blood type. I mean, from elementary school, to be real, because if they learn just calories, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, if they just learn what those are and what they do to the body. They could literally look at any food, any plate, and know right off the top of their head, that probably has 500 calories, 60 grams of fat. Yeah, that's not good for me. I don't think
that's the school's responsibility though to teach health. I think that should be parents' responsibility.
I
don't even think public school is something that you have to send your child to. Is there a law that you have to send your child to public school? You have to go to school.
You gotta be educated.
School, I'm saying, but I'm talking about public school.
Oh no, not public. No.
What do you mean they don't? You're saying they don't have to go to public school?
Yeah, like you have to send your child to public school. Is that a law?
Oh,
No,
my
they have to go to
child is
school.
going.
Oh
to
yeah,
school.
you gotta go to school.
Well,
but
my
I mean, for
child
the
is-
majority, most of us went to public school, so I
Yeah.
don't think it's public school's responsibility to teach health.
I mean, but
But-
are you saying that they should pay to go to a private school?
No,
'Cause
I just
everybody
feel
can't pay
like
for
no,
that.
I'm not. What I'm saying is like when it comes to learning health and learning macros and learning your blood type, I'm not putting that in the school's hand. I'm putting that in the parents.
But the parents don't even know. That's why they come to y'all.
I think.
Yeah,
I think
and-
that it's the public. I do think that.
I mean, they're gonna make them be there 8
and then
hours
think
a day.
about this.
Like-
What if I have a parent that's an A positive and a parent that's a B positive, and I'm AB? Those two parents aren't gonna know how I should be eating for my body because I'm AB and they're A and B. So the way I should be eating is going to be different from them, so they can't teach me.
As a public, like for me, as a public, as a person, my tax dollars. If you're requiring me to send my child to a designated place for 8 hours a day for 12, how many? It's 12 years. I want them to have a true education,
Right.
and key to that, just for society purposes, and key to that is people need to know how to take care of themselves because it keeps the healthcare costs down for adults.
But we don't teach kids in
Now-
school how to bathe.
Well, yeah.
That's basic. instinct.
Well,
That's
look.
something-
There's certain
No one
things.
even really-
I mean,
There's certain things parents should already be planting in us and teaching us. You know what I'm saying? Like parents should be able to, teach certain things, health wise, early on. Because I mean, we don't get to public school or school until what 3, 4, 5 or whatever, right?
5, yeah.
So I mean, but no, yeah, man, the school definitely should be able to teach that.
And I mean, if you want to go there with bathing, I would say if that could be handled there too.
Because fitness, because then I would say that would justify taking PE out of school.
Because
physical education and health go hand in hand.
Well, my thing with school is like school is where you're supposed to go and get assimilated for whatever culture you're in. So like because to a certain extent, when kids grow into adults, you want people to be on the same page with certain. In terms of certain things, in terms of like how we behave. So if we're saying that bathing is really important, maybe bathing isn't important, but whatever we are deciding as a society that's important, that's what you learn it at school. So if bathing is important for most people, then that needs to be reinforced in the schools because that's where we're spending so much time.
But I mean, if the people who are owning the schools, they own the healthcare and own all that shit, I don't want to teach kids how to be healthy because I want them to be sick and be fat so they can come to me.
Right, of course. That's why it's not in school. That's why finance is really not.
So
in
things
school.
I think parents should
So
be
you're
parents.
talking about reality
Yeah,
versus
I'm talking about what should be.
Okay.
Okay, that's different. But what I'm saying though is that it should not be that way that you're describing. It should be the way it should be. Education, if it's a school and if it's education, then education is supposed to benefit the person and is also supposed to benefit society. And so if education is being used for its true purpose, then you're supposed to go into the institution and you're supposed to come out a better person. Like somebody that goes in not learning how to budget, not learning how to take care of themselves, that causes problems for me later on down the line as an adult because you didn't get what you needed to go while you were in this building. What were you doing? Like that's the whole point. But however, if you're talking about reality, it's not what's going on.
I mean, then you can't expect from the parent if we know we know that we were miseducated. So how are we gonna expect a miseducated generation to educate this generation?
We educating them.
Exactly. And we're still learning. Everybody's still learning. Like I don't even believe like in this society, you're an adult when you're 18, but it doesn't really make sense how we consider ourselves to be adults at 18 when a lot of the things is like
I think you're a legal adult at 18.
Yeah.
right, but technically you're an adult. Like you can go to the fucking army. You can, you're an adult in America at 18. But before you turn 18, you're not in preparation for what is actually going to happen when you're 18. So I don't. In Egyptian culture, like many moons ago, like they believe that you're not an adult until you're 30, which I believe is more accurate because being almost 30 at this point, I feel like I really just became an adult maybe just a couple years ago. Like I'm 27 now, so it's like I grew up a lot 25, but before then I'm wilding because I didn't, it's just stuff you just don't know. So we put a lot of responsibility on people that just don't know, and I feel like we have to be a lot more lenient and teach our parents and
totally agree because
grandparents.
I see it. Okay, I see it because like I say, I'm in the counseling office, and so I see just all the shit that goes on in the school. Like all the shit happens in the counseling office. Yeah. I mean, just the stories is crazy. But one thing that I noticed is what you said is that the parents themselves are not educated. But we're like 2-3 generations into this cycle of lack of education, what have you. Mm-hmm. And so you have to educate the parents, and that's why when parents come up to the school, that's why there's so much animosity between the parents and the teachers because the parents don't trust the teachers. 2 different worlds, really. You got a lot going on. Like you got like sometimes what happens is that you have teachers that feel they're and professionals. Let's say that you have professionals that feel they're here and that the parents are here, so they treat them a certain kind of way. That's what's going on now. I don't know if y'all heard, but there's an issue now talking about should we have a dress code for parents?
To go to school?
Yeah, because a woman came in
with a bonnet.
Yeah. And so like, but that comes from professional black folks. These are black people doing this. It's professional black folks that's looking down at people that aren't professional. Like, and they're trying to say that if the parents don't adhere to the dress code, that enrollment for the child should be blocked. The goal is to enroll the child in school. All this other stuff is just extra, like bullshit. Like, why are you trying to put obstacles in front of people when the main objective should be education? That's sick. But what I'm saying though, but that's part of what's going on. Like when parents come to the schools to talk with teachers, you got that animosity going on with, well, I'm a professional, you're not. And then you also just lack of information. And then the schools also, the schools are not always well intended because with special ed, a lot of us are in special ed now when we shouldn't be. But for each head,
try to put me in it.
For each but that's not uncommon. But for each child that's considered special ed, that's like $4,000 extra for the school. So there's a financial incentive to just throw kids in special ed, like. Parents understand that many times when they go to the schools, like sometimes they do get bullied into doing things they don't want to do. But like I said early on, like you're talking reality. What I think kind of what we're saying like this is how it should be. But yeah, in reality, that financial incentive is just
if I have the choice to teach you about health and not teach you about health, but my job is also to sell you this medicine.
You're gonna want to sell the medicine,
yeah. I'm not teaching you shit as a child. I want you to go through school, and if your parents teach you, that's fine. But I'm not finna teach you because I don't want you to know anything. I want you to be stupid or ignorant and get sick so you can come spend more money with me. That's how I'm looking at it in business. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, what it is, man. These business people, they need to keep a moral compass for themselves and what they're willing and willing not to do to get money, man. People, they don't selling their soul, man. Yeah, that's what they're selling their soul for. But it is what it is.
I think the real question though is that because you mentioned the soul, the real question is that can capitalism coexist with conscious and being and empathizing with other people? And I don't think it can.
Not in America, no.
I just don't see it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There are some country.
All right, go ahead.
There was some country. I don't know what the name is. I forgot, but. This country, they have no currency. They have they basically have nothing, and everybody lives in tranquility, and they just have a barter system, like trade, and that's it. No government, no nothing.
Sound like Greenland or Iceland or something.
Yeah, it's somewhere close to the Middle East.
Okay.
Yeah, actually.
That's what it sounded more like tribal. It sounded like Africa.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good little fitness segment. We're gonna take another 5-minute break.
Catch me pushing in through alleys with a pack of 6 stabbies, trending over dead baggies from a colony of zombies. a man, they're proper scatty. These fussies got me aggy. Stop with a screw face, man, I ain't happy. Hence why I smash the beat. When meth dash me the heat, stricken with my wicked nature. Heavy bars in the paper, come lunging like a knuckle duster. You brothers best run like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of this life. If I don't drop 'em with the left, I hit 'em with the right. Bitch is stupid, but I still might hit it twice. Rapping from Brizzy where the nitties might pick a fight. Out in the shadows with the vandals.
You're listening to Flex Talk, a Banana Pudding Productions podcast. For more information, please visit flexlanta.com.
Rocko on the truck.
Hey yo, this rap is like ZD. Facing me real TV. Crashing high speed, strawberry kiwi.
Nigga, the gunner pound rappers. In the dirt jerk, you were underground rapper.
I don't live in the hood, this the council's estate. Real life kings keep taking to unfolding the blades. Unholiest the places, enrolling the greats. All I wanna do is escape. I bet a lot can relate. Keep taking money out my hands in hopes to controlling the grade. The goats they invade, the opening glade. Police will have you slowed down, broke down and flayed. The tracks made to hear the sound my loud pack makes.
Puzzle 2, I fill in boxes like a crucial verbalist. Busted putting stuff in the ground like a group of verbalists.
But either way, we're back on Flex Talk Podcast. May 5th. We have 50 minutes left, and this is pretty much the exciting part of the podcast where it's like no restrictions. We just gonna talk our shit and express our feelings and stuff. I want to open up this free talk with the. I guess we should just open up with the Nipsey talk, since that's probably one of the most recent things that's going on. Start with Brandon. Like, how do you feel about and this is the open question, I don't care which way you take it, but how do you feel about the whole Nipsey,
all right,
I don't want to call it a scandal, but situation, story, or whatever?
First off, I'm gonna go ahead and just be completely transparent and let the folks know that I am definitely one of those people who did not know all of his music until he passed, unfortunately. Now, I was aware, I heard a couple songs before he passed, and what it was is I really just kind of respected what he does. So when he passed, that was a crazy thing, because then I started learning a lot of more, of what he did. And, one thing that's funny to me is that, a lot of people, I can understand fans being upset that you have people who fake about being a fan, but don't get mad about people who are getting motivated because they're finding out about the life that he did live. Right. Man, this man's life has motivated me so bad, it's so crazy, and I didn't even know much about his life when he was alive. At first, of course, when you're going through grieving, when people go through grieving, they don't, they can't really see any positivity in a situation. But one thing I'll say about him is that, there's so many parallels or signs in this man's life and in his death. I mean, this man, is preaching health, preaching finance, preaching getting out the hood. It really operating like a real Crip. I mean, community, the Crip stands for community. Neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's, like a real Crip, not, one that's, out here with the rah-rah. But pretty much what I'm saying is, when you look at his life and you look at all the positivity that's coming out of it, you know, you got to realize that this man had a purpose and he fulfilled his purpose. You know what I'm saying? His mom said something real profound during the funeral. We can't possess people, right? And basically she was saying that from the standpoint, you know, if you realize that we all have a creator, right? If you believe in a creator and you're created with a purpose, right? Well, then you're your creators. You're not each individual person that's on this planet. You know, you can't, even your son, your friend, your homeboy, you can't possess a person. Right. So even grieving, in a sense, is selfish, you know, in a sense. So if you really look at his life and the fact that this man he found something he was willing to die for. That's right. Unfortunately, he did, but at the end of the day, he found something he was willing to die for. Now he fulfilled that purpose. You can appreciate, you know, more so the life he lived and all the positivity that's coming out of it. I mean, from, you know, the ceasefires that are being discussed and, you know, the gangs that are, you know, hopefully, creating pacts and becoming less violent and such. So, you know, I mean, the man died at 33, same age Jesus did, for crying out loud. Like, I can only get motivated, you know.
So I like to throw conspiracies out there. So you're 100% he's dead. You're 100% he's dead.
I do think
Tupac is dead. 100%.
Yes. All
right. Yeah. So do you think the guy who killed Nipsey, was it a setup? Was it just him just killing him? What was it?
I'm gonna just be comfortable with I don't know. You know, when he first died, to me it's completely logical when you can look at a pattern of people that have died around Dr. Sebi, right? And you make the assumption, oh, the government did this. You know, people, anybody who was acting mad, annoyed, or wild that people were assuming that, don't know what critical thinking is.
That's
because
right.
Critical thinking is going to make you think, yo, that's a possibility. The government could have offered him. Critical thinking is going to say that. Yeah. No, it's not some little annoying, you know, conspiracies come out the trash cans with their just crazy mumbo jumbo. No, this isn't far-fetched things. You know what I'm saying? So it's a really good story. Yeah. It's a really good story. Now, I think it's a possibility that what's been presented could be true. I think it's a possibility that the latter could be true. Mm-hmm. I just think there's no way for me to know personally, you know. But I think either or, I you know, I'm still, you know, motivated by the man's life either way. But you know, I don't know.
I feel like it was LAPD. I mean, and not even just for Dr. Sebi, because I mean, his works are already out. People have already been catching on to that before Nipsey. I feel like it was more so him ceasing gang violence in LA and him buying out the block in LA, and that's a big thing. Like owning that shop in Slauson, and then everything else that he was planning on purchasing, like he was really buying the hood back. And that's dangerous territory. And just all the I don't believe in coincidences. It's just like the way that it happened, how the guy knew exactly when to go to the shop where there was not, I feel like he was being watched. And the guy was tipped off to go to the shop at the time that he go to the shop, because it was just too perfect of a play situation. For, you know, it's just I
haven't seen the video. Like I hate watching people.
I'm not gonna watch.
Like, you know, people somebody get shot or somebody like cop shooting. Like I hate watching stuff like that, because then I'm gonna always see it. Yeah. So I haven't watched Nipsey's video, so I don't know how it laid.
I saw a glimpse on accident.
It's pretty crazy, like just the way that it happened. Like the guy had so much time. Yeah. It's like he went back multiple times to do it.
He had a getaway driver, didn't he?
He had a getaway driver.
Wasn't he an informant? Was he or no?
He was basically
some woman who didn't know what was really happening.
He was a snitch. He's already been labeled a snitch, so he's already been in the system. Yeah. I feel like he was released with a job to do. He was protected from the time that how was he in LA and he was safe? Mm-hmm. No one saw him after he killed Nipsey. He just went off the map until they found him. Some kind of way they found him.
They found him at the health institution.
He checked himself into the mental institution
that he's actually been to previously.
And who was his lawyer?
One of the highest profile. Yeah. How could he afford it?
I think
it's just he's been protected. He's been too much. Like
my conspiracy that I'll entertain, if this wasn't just somebody just hating and shooting him, I'll entertain the conspiracy because I read this too. He signed a deal with the label, but it was a distribution deal.
Atlantic, which is right? One of the biggest snakes in the industry.
So this is what I will entertain.
My boy Lupe, man.
I think because he didn't sign a full deal, all he did was just sign a deal to help his music be pushed. And they always say dead rappers' music is pushed a lot. Mm-hmm. So I want to also look up other dead rappers who also signed distribution deals that are dead. Because I'll entertain the conspiracy that the music label just wanted him gone. Mm-hmm. Because all they were making money from him were his album sales. Mm-hmm. They had no control over anything else. Mm-hmm. So if I can get somebody dead and just push his music, I take everything. So I'll entertain that conspiracy. I'll entertain the conspiracy where he was a snitch. I'll entertain anything because I just wasn't there and I just don't know and I can't say I'm wrong or I can't say you're wrong. But I heard about that one where he just signed a deal for distribution. The label didn't like it. You know, he wasn't runner-up for a Grammy or something, but didn't win the Grammy. And there's a whole conspiracy behind getting Grammys and shit too, about shaking hands and doing deals and shit. And I would say, if I want to entertain the conspiracy, I think he got nominated for that Grammy. He wasn't trying to shake some hands. The music industry's got upset. It's awful. Keep selling his music. He's not making any money. So I've seen that.
But he owns his master, so he's still making money. He's making all.
His family.
Yeah. He's making.
But the label is too though.
He has his I don't know. When you have your masters, do you get everything?
But for distribution.
So he had a distribution deal with Atlantic. That means that they are responsible for putting his stuff in the stores and
promoting it.
Promoting it. But
they don't get no money.
So he pays them for that.
Yeah, he could have been paying them for that. Or it depends on the deal.
Or they get some type of cut.
But if he has his own masters, then we know that he's getting a lot. He's getting
majority.
A big percentage.
So you think the industry was upset about that?
I don't
know. You got a lot of artists with their masters though.
It's everything that he stands for because we know that the industry at this point is manufacturing hits, and we know that certain artists are like that. Explains how many I don't want to call them trash rappers, but how many violent rappers, how many rappers that's not really talking about nothing, they're the main ones on the radio, and you don't listen to it. If
this man was targeted, at the end of the day, it's because of his influence.
Exactly, that's what I think. When his music is more positive.
Yeah, because I think that, and if I'm betting money on it, I think. I know where you're going with the music angle. I just think that in this case it doesn't apply. But we can talk about some people where I think possibly it does apply. Like maybe Prince. Because Nipsey Hussle, you know what I'm saying? He was big on the West Coast. But
he got bigger after death.
He got bigger after death. But with him, like what you were saying earlier on, I didn't listen to Nipsey Hussle because again he was more regional, but I knew of him.
I listened to him. I just wasn't a fan. I listened to Dom Kennedy more than
him. I wasn't. Yeah, and after he died, I listened to his music. I just don't like West Coast music really.
That's how I felt. And then after he passed, honestly, I didn't listen to him before, and I listen to him now religiously because of his messages. What he's talking about, it really is motivating me. Right now, I feel his impact. It sucks to say that he had to die. But any other way, I don't think I would have listened to it.
Same here.
That's just human nature.
Yeah.
Your legacy is always going to be the most powerful when you die because you're going to have other people who are going to want to kind of run and carry that baton. That's why I feel like just when I'm talking about purpose, this is what was a part of his purpose. You have for anything to come out, you have to be killed or go out some type of way for people to feel some type of way. If you just died on a deathbed or in his sleep,
you wasted your time.
There's nothing coming out of this.
Like a gangster, the way he died was really some movie shit. It was with
his ship. He died with his ship. You know what I'm saying?
On his block. In front of his store.
In front of his people.
Like, in front of his people. Like,
it's all about perspective at the end of the day, man. People gotta learn to look at the positives that come out of this. Unfortunate, for him, but
like what Cassie said. I mean, I didn't listen to him while he was alive, and like I say, like his music itself, I like listening to his lyrics, and I was like, oh, he was clearly conscious. I like that aspect of it. In terms of, I guess with his music, I just didn't really care for the beats.
That's really what it was at first.
That's just the beats.
Really?
But
I like stuff I can dance.
But that aside though, because that's not even important. What I'm trying to say is that, like what you all been saying, this man was like actually doing like really good things in the community. And
how many artists can we name?
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like none of them are doing that, and so like I think I would put money in it that if you had to single out what entity has something to do with this man shooting, I would say LAPD too.
Well, hold up. Let me put this out though. Golly, man, what point did you make? You made another point right before that.
About him being in the community, putting stuff
like what other rappers
being positive.
Yeah. So, a lot of people probably like knew of his music and probably also did not know about all this other stuff.
Okay.
So I will say, I know Lupe Fiasco, somebody who's heavy in the community.
Okay.
I mean, when this man passes away, is so much information going to come out as well as when he called Obama a terrorist on CNN. But T.I. T.I. is in Atlanta. Is Atlanta's Nipsey Hussle.
Him and Killer Mike.
If we really gonna think about it, like they be out here, the same way. Nipsey Hussle, what it is his personality. He has more of the personality that really went with what he was doing too. So some of these other artists are a little bit more, on the braggadocious side still. Like even Tory Lanez does a lot of community type of stuff.
Let me
ask
you this because
you know his music.
Let me ask you. You mentioned T.I. and okay, so let me ask you with T.I. because I know the one thing that the thing that if Nipsey if he were killed, I think that the thing that irritated those that had him set up was not just the community activism, but specifically what he was doing. He was trying to prevent, he was actively trying to prevent the gentrification of his area.
Yeah.
So and I think that's the threat. Because I think that's the specific threat. He was going around putting money, actually using his money and encouraging his colleagues and his boys, whatever, to do the same thing. So now you are trying, it's one thing to, show up at a charity or show up at a mayor's function, because I know T.I. is on the...
It'd be the same thing if T.I. was telling people to, telling other black folk around here to buy up land before Atlanta expands this city all the way to Alabama.
And you got the city trying to attract Amazon. That means billions and billions of dollars over a 10-year period, but yet you're pushing out a certain population, and you got these niggas here that's smarting up to the game and saying, no, we're going to prevent this. At some point, does maybe one or two people conspire together and say, hey, we can do it? Because when I say the LAPD probably has some involvement in it, it don't have to be where the whole department was involved in it. It only takes one person. One person in an official capacity to be on the bad side of the law and to act as a conspirator. You got your conspiracy. It only takes one.
I'm not going flex. This whole thing, I was definitely experiencing post traumatic stress for a good week. Yeah. And it was just because I know I'm out here doing a lot of the same stuff. Yeah. And I ain't in the hood. We still got a lot of dumb people. Still a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, a lot of greed. So when you become more of a known or seen figure, you can become a target. At this point, almost every time I go to a grocery store, I'm seeing a kid, or a parent, that knows me from coming to their school or that I taught or whatever. So it's you want to do your stuff in your own community, but man, like, but at the end of the day, man, like, here's what I'm thinking. There's a verse, I forgot which one it is, but it says, "The man who puts his hand to the plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom." At the end of the day, like I said, the man found what he was willing to die for.
Exactly.
So you got to look at whatever you're doing to that extremity. Are you willing to lay down your life for this purpose you're trying to fulfill? Mm-hmm. So that's how I'm looking at my community activism. Yeah. Like, it could be a life or death situation, as innocent as it may be. Yeah. So
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, man.
I totally agree with that.
A lot of people were now, they were questioning, like, well, shoot, I thought he was doing it right. Should you just move out the hood, when you make it? Like, should you, like, you know what I'm saying? If you want to keep your life.
I can understand that, but I think
you can't live out of fear.
You can't. And I think that it's how ironic it is. Like, I don't go to church.
Mm-hmm.
We don't go to church. And we never really went. But you know what I'm saying? I'm a profound believer in God.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about, all the stories and, I don't care about all the religious protocols and all that stuff. That's just people just trying to control other people, in my opinion. But what I find is real funny is that when you go to like a black church, especially, because I've never really been to too many white churches, but
I actually just started going to
one. To a white church.
Yeah.
How's the music?
Because it's short, that's why.
The music.
Because it's short, that's why. Is she in there like for an hour?
It's not
45 minutes.
It's actually really refreshing. Like, the only thing that I do miss is the music. Like, really from the black church. Like, because it's just, it feels less judgmental. I can relax. Yeah. It's not really preachy. It's more like story, like lecture, like a TED Talk kind of. Yeah. And the one that I go to Passion City in Buckhead, 515. It's a production.
It's a production. Yeah.
It's a whole production, and it makes sense. People kind of get weary of like mega churches, and it's just like, I mean, we put so much emphasis in everything else. Why can't we put the same thing into God and how we praise? Like, I don't understand, all the money that we put into black churches, and they still are that little hole in the wall church from when you were a kid and you now, like, whatever age you are now, and it hasn't changed.
I mean, and the ones that are doing it right, they're super into their communities. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the ones that are dirty or whatever, but you got ones that are heavy into the community too. AKA like with the one that I go to. But I don't even know how we got on that.
I just don't. What I was trying to say was that it's real. The one thing that I picked up going in black churches is that they're always preparing you for death. They're always preparing you for, the grass is greener on the other side. You'll get your reward in heaven. However you want to put it. But they're always trying to. The overarching theme in a lot of the black churches, at least from my experience, is that, you're going to be suffering here on earth. However, you go through it because once you pass away, there's something waiting for you on the other side. But I find it ironic that, because when you all mentioned this early on, I find it ironic that a lot of us believe that and subscribe to that, but yet we're so afraid of that.
I have the answer for you. It's called colonized Christianity. Okay. I'm one of my favorite music artists. His name is Lecrae. I've been on his waves, since 2002. To the point I got the 116, tag.
Okay.
But what black people don't realize that, first of all, Christianity didn't start with white people, right? There are little churches that, date back to 300, BC in Ethiopia.
Okay.
So. And if you're educated, you know that the belief actually started and spread in Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa and out. Now, with that being said, now when you have African Americans, a whole group of people who have been through slavery, and they're taught this belief, right? Now, they don't even realize that this belief is actually one of the many religions in Africa. It's so fun. I see certain memes that'll say, you wouldn't be praying to this God if it wasn't for, your slave master. No, this was in Africa too.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you, gosh, man, what point I was making, man, I be losing my train of thought all the time. When you're taught, so when you're going through slavery and you're taught this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, your perspective of this whole belief is going to be from negative standpoints because of what you're going through in your life.
Right.
So black people, African Americans, have a colonized Christianity way of view. So even in this belief, your perspective is based off of whatever experiences that you've been through and how you were taught by that person who went through those experiences. But when you have somebody, who's taught, just straight, Bible or non-denomination, whatever, whatever the pure teachings are, you're not gonna have that condescending tone.
Okay.
I actually pulled a couple of weeks ago. I pulled a sister from my church. Now she's older woman, 40s, whatever. She's she does the choir, and of course she looks at me as the young boy Brandon Meshack who ran around terrorizing the church when he was a kid.
Okay.
I grew up going there,
but she knows,
right?
Yeah.
But when she was talking about something about health and something about our bodies, you were living it, they're breaking down, blah blah. I told her, look, why you don't. Our bodies are the first thing God gave us control over. Mm-hmm. Why don't make it seem like we don't have control over it. It's the only thing we do have control over. Mm-hmm. And then she got super offended, whatever. But that was that. But yeah, it's the way African Americans were taught.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just why you have that colonized view of this, belief.
And that colonized view is what pushed me away. Even as a kid, I didn't articulate it as a colonized view, but it makes sense because I always wonder, people would just get so into it. Like, what turned me off as a kid was seeing the people, like seeing the church members jumping up and down, crying, and really getting into the message. I guess capturing like the Holy Ghost or whatever. Mm-hmm. And as an adult, like they're doing that because of there's a lot of pain and suffering going on in their lives.
Of course, yeah.
But what I'm saying though is that the churches are the black churches. The black churches are this is that colonized thing you were talking about, man. Like the overarching message in the black churches is one of like. I mean, that's what I can explain.
Brick and mortar, brimstone, fire and brimstone is what it's called.
Weakness and like accept your fate as it is. It's gonna be better on the other side. It's like no.
Yeah,
let's talk about now.
And
what can I do to make my situation better now? I want to talk to me from a position of strength.
So I think it's important to realize that there are many churches that actually do operate the right way in what you're wishing. Right, there are still many, but of course you're gonna mostly find that in churches that are ran by still older people. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to one that that there are more people that are younger people making decisions, say maybe early 30s, late 20s, whatever, you're gonna find more of that type of feel that you're looking for.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I mean it's a generational thing. Gotta realize that
sometimes, but I mean some generations they do exactly what their daddy did.
Yeah, no, some do. But I think if we're talking about in general across the board in churches, like, yeah, you're gonna, because of that generation gap, you're gonna still have a lot of more of that colonized type of teaching and view in how they talk, and you're gonna see that those pews are more so empty. You know what I'm saying? Some of them may be full, but most of them are emptying
because they're not connecting.
And the ones that are growing are connecting with the youth and young adults. Yeah. So
yeah,
but yeah,
it's just the church they attack whatever it is they want to attack. It's like it's like a big contradiction. Like I'm not,
because as humans are contradictions.
Exactly, but it's like it doesn't make any. I don't consider myself to be a Christian anymore. I grew up Baptist, but I go to church just strictly for the positivity. So I'm not going into a church that's about to give me the vibe that you're judging me or whatever it is. So it's like churches aren't open-minded, even though the things that they're preaching are like, Jesus was pretty open-minded, but it's like the people that follow Jesus aren't, and it's like, I don't understand.
And Jesus helped people.
But like I said, you can critique the church just like you can critique anything else that human beings have created. Like, if we're gonna keep it all the way real, like, everybody's imperfect no matter what your belief is. So yeah, you're gonna have some Christians or some churches that miss that that mark. You just got to realize that for one, there's always gonna be a place that you can find it and fit in. I know at least with mine, you're gonna, every now and then you might deal with, a senior or something with some condescending tone. But I mean, once you know them, because I grew up there, I know that it's out of love, but they don't connect in the sense of knowing how to correct you or talk to you. Right. But I mean, yeah, like, you're just gonna have some that don't operate well. You're gonna have some that do. I guess. But I think it just boils down to that people just gotta understand that. Yeah, it seems contradictory because we're humans. That's what it teaches is what we're striving for. You know what I'm saying? You strive for the service. You strive for those characteristics that it says a person's supposed to have. But in doing so, the actual Christian or person may not exemplify those because we're human. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's about, you want to belong to a community that has the same spiritual beliefs, because it's easy to keep on it when you are, but that's why it's a personal thing for you too. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at other people and be like, oh, like, because of them I'm gonna stay away from it. Like, you gotta have to want it for yourself. Yeah. In a sense. Like me, I grew up in the church. My beliefs did not become real to me until I had my own life experiences. Okay. My dad, we moved to Florida because my dad started pastoring the church down there for Lauderdale, right? I grew up the typical PK, the bad one, the bad kind, right?
That's typically how it is, right?
But until I moved out and I had my situations, and I'm talking about literal miracles, that you wouldn't almost believe if I told you. It did not become real to me until I had those experiences. I see. So it's all about having your own experiences. I see. To make it real to you. You can't look at other people and determine, okay, that's what they about. Okay, no, I'm gonna stay away from that. You know what I mean? So that's just that.
Good talk. Got 15 minutes left. That was a good little segment, but I do want to cover the Us movie because I hadn't seen it. And all three of y'all have seen it, right? Yeah. So I want to kind of hear you guys talk on that. You can talk about Get Out also. And
you plan on seeing it?
I plan on seeing it. Yeah, I just got to make the time.
Okay.
Yeah. You can spoil it. Like, I like spoil. Like, the thing about spoilers, like, I like spoilers because it makes me want to go see it more. Because now I want to see it play out. Like, I can take what you tell me and I use my imagination. Because I've made this post earlier. Like, when I watch people's stories on IG, I don't put the volume on. I just use my imagination and just kind of guess what's going on. If I really
Christian's different.
I like to play with my mind a lot. So, like, I'll watch his story and I'll just watch it. Like, I don't never turn the volume on my imagination. It's so weird. Like, I didn't pick that up until I made that post last night. I was like, why do I do this?
I hear you.
But either way, when it comes to spoiling movies, like, I don't mind a spoiler. Like, even like, my mom told me about the Avengers and somebody passed, and I was like, tell me who passed, I want to know. So when I can watch the movie, like, it kind of builds it up for me. So I don't like spoilers. I love spoilers, but since y'all seen this, since all y'all seen the movie, like, tell me how it is.
Okay. So Us, right? You talk about Us?
Yeah.
It was interesting, man. It was interesting. I think here's what I'll say. I think that they just need to do a better job on delivering what the message was supposed to be. Like, I shouldn't have to go watch like mad interviews and articles to figure out. No, you know what? With music, that's fun for me. With music, if I'm listening to Lupe Fiasco, I know I have to go to Genius, Rap Genius, to figure out everything. You know what I mean? But with a movie, like, nah, because it's visual. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching it, so I want that piece to connect. You know, I think, you know, but you know, I think it's worth a Netflix watch. You know, when it comes out on Netflix.
It's not worth a second movie trip to the movie theaters.
Nah,
ooh, it's not.
Nah, I mean, hey, look, support black movies, business, all that. But you know, we can make.
Jordan Peele's are black, but the people who own that aren't black.
Oh, really?
No. Monkey, was it Monkey House? Or
yeah, but I think
Monkey
he directed though.
Yeah, but somebody's paying.
It's an all black cast.
But
for the
somebody's
most
paying
part.
them. But I feel you. But either way.
But it wasn't that great. Hopefully the next one, man.
Was it better than Get Out?
I think I like Get Out more.
Get Out better.
What about you?
I think I like Get Out better, but I mean, honestly, neither one of them are my favorite. I mean, I commend him for like the direction. It's very creative. He's very creative.
It's Monkey Paw.
Us, the movie was very creative. I agree that it could have been communicated, like what it was about, the message, it could have been communicated better. The overall production, it looked really well. Yeah. Like it was, I didn't really know where they were going, so it wasn't predictable, which is a good thing. But it was kind of hard to read, and it was kind of slow sometimes. It's not something that I would really want to, I'm not eager to watch that again. I
Even
get
on
the
Netflix,
movie,
you
though.
still want to watch it again?
I mean, if somebody else is watching it and we just sitting down and watching it, but am I gonna go and like click on it? Like,
yeah,
no.
I wouldn't either. I mean, because
that says a lot about a movie.
Well, I mean, but like like for instance, like okay, so I mentioned Game of Thrones. My mom, and this is common. My mom has probably watched a lot of episodes of Game of Thrones like 4 or 5 times. Because it's just really that good.
I think my mom does that too.
It is that good.
It's
I
really
don't
that
do
good.
that, but I probably could.
I don't do that neither, but I probably could. And my point is that I actually did do that for the last episode that came on last Sunday.
You missed things.
Yeah, because I mean you miss things. I mean the story is so rich. I just hate that it was, you know. But with us, everything that they said, like us. It was done well. The acting was phenomenal. What's the lady's name?
Lupita.
Nyong'o. That's babe, man.
Like I would say,
and Denai Guerrero.
I would say go see it just for her, her performance. Like she really killed it. I mean, like she did her eyes, and I mean she was creepy. She was good. Like she was the highlight for me.
It's pretty creepy. It's a creepy movie.
She was the highlight for me. But in terms of the story, he is creative. But I think that because I find, like, my wife and I, we find ourselves going online, like, trying to figure out, okay, so what were they, like, we were trying to figure out.
I told you about that rabbit hole and tying it in with Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, like, there's a lot of hidden, like, you know, I was trying to figure out the Michael Jackson connection, because Michael Jackson was really big in this movie. Michael Jackson, 1986, and that whole thing, whatever. The hands-on thing where
Hands on America or Hands.
It was supposed to be a global thing where everyone was supposed to. It happened in 1986.
Yeah, it actually happened in real life.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It failed. So
it failed,
the movie was about, I guess, if it had of like succeeded a little bit, and then it was about cloning, and it's about if
government cover up.
People are because they're trying to say like the. How do I explain? The doppelganger, like, rose, so anybody could be put in anybody can be successful if given the tools to be successful. Like, because the doppelganger was underground and everybody, all of those people underground couldn't talk. They were, like, not developed.
The rhythm was off.
Wait, that's what the message was supposed to be?
That's one of the messages, that if put in a certain situation, anybody can rise to the occasion. She's the only one that was able to speak by the end of the movie. And then they switched roles because the real Lupita, I forget her name in the actual movie, but the real her lost really her ability to talk while underneath there. That's what she was like whispering.
Right.
Like, so it's like, basically, like anybody can succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what did you get from it?
I don't. Yeah, I'm not pulling that story. I'm not pulling that from this movie.
What you pulling?
Huh?
So what you pulling? Like?
Yo, that's the thing, man. I don't. I mean, shoot. I mean, what did I pull, man? I mean, if I'm looking at the entire movie,
I just feel like it's one of those.
Like I said, I would have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had to watch Get Out twice. I think I watched it 3 times.
Like if I'm talking about the message, I think it's trying to convey. That's it. I just don't think it conveyed what it was trying to well enough.
I think it has many messages.
Probably does.
You think
Honestly, I'm interested in what he's saying because people can make up their own messages they pull, but I want to know what his intention was, in making a movie. Has he come out and said anything yet? He probably not. He wants people's mind to still wonder.
Yeah, of course. So that you don't think there'll be a 3rd installment?
Well, us stands alone. Yeah, they're not. Us is not connected with Get Out.
Oh, there's no messages that might connect.
No.
No
So because Get Out was more focused on, I guess, racism, but Us is more focused on.
He just need a horror movie. I want to see gore. I want to see black gore now. Let's stop being smart with our movies now. Let's be scary. I want to be scared with a black movie now. You know what I mean?
I think the smart ones be scary though, especially when you got to think about it.
No, true. But I like that style.
It was creepy, but it wasn't scary.
I like that style, but I'm a horror movie connoisseur. And I'm very desensitized, so it's hard for me to get scared. So I need something that can scare me. You know what I'm saying? Music for me, I like for some reason, I like music that makes me think more than movies.
You using movies as entertainment.
I do like movies that make me think. I just don't think it's being done that well in these movies. But I just want to see something scary now. Give me a real horror movie.
I don't know if I can be scared anymore with movies. Because I want that too, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm easily scared. So
you're easily scared. I do want to be scared though, and I don't want to be. I'm not talking about I'm not into slasher films, but I want to be completely.
I need Conjuring. If I'm thinking about horror movies that I like or that actually maybe have gotten a reaction out of me, Alien vs. Predator Requiem that came out on Christmas. That movie perfectly blended action and horror together. Okay. That movie was really good.
And I haven't seen
action and horror, having characters die off that you wouldn't be able to predict that was gonna die off. Very good movie. Conjuring, I think it was good, but for me, not enough deaths happen. Honestly, death equals scary to me in scary movies. And if it's scary but nobody really died, then no.
The Conjuring for me was probably one of the top 5, or in the past 5 or 10 years, it's been great. But there's a story behind the Conjuring. I'm gonna tell you the story. When we went to go see it, you know how movies come out Friday. We went Thursday night, storming, right? The light shut off.
Perfect. Perfect.
Crap, I'm talking about the whole theater was full of people. The lights shut off. It was maybe 10 minutes in the video, when they found the dog died outside the house. That's when the lights turned off out for 15 minutes. Then the movie came back on, and then for the rest of the part, we were just on edge because we didn't know. But it was crazy. I think that whole experience made that movie kind of top notch.
No, that's dope.
Movie theater should probably do that. On
just shut the lights.
Yo, here's another good one.
No announcement. You know what was going on.
But here's another really good slasher. This one went over a lot of people's head, and I actually. When I saw this, was the first time and only time I actually went to the movie theaters by myself, and I was actually the only one in the theater. But You're Next. You're Next is a really good slasher. So basically, it's this Caucasian family. They go out in the middle of the woods for a reunion in this little mini mansion, and these guys in animal masks.
Already the first strike.
Yeah, right. So these guys in animal masks,
rabbits and stuff, right?
They start hunting them and picking them off one by one. The family, from the young to the old to whatever. But what you find out is that it's actually the plot twist is that it was actually one of the brothers that hired. Them to kill the family to get the money out of it. He he was it was 2 brothers.
Okay.
That were in cahoots, and the oldest one, they killed him off. No. Just greed. You know what I'm saying? But it was just so good. Basically, one of the boyfriend of one of the guys, the girlfriend of one of the guys that playing this. she used to be, you know, a military brat. So she actually was able to survive and actually, you know, killed him off or whatever. But that was just another really good movie that was really good because it was not predictable. And like I like horror movies that have the whole, you have a group of people who survives at the end. Like I like horror movies like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like you kind of pick your favorite character mentally and hope that they survive. Yeah. Any movie that gives me that, I like that.
Okay, yeah, I know the format you like. Yeah.
Which is why The Walking Dead is my favorite.
That's not, I mean, a lot of people died.
And what?
The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, that's why it's my favorite.
But you said you picked favorites, but your favorite people died.
My favorite is Michonne. She's still alive.
Oh, she's still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. No, everybody else is dead. Rick is dead. Carl's dead. Carl. Oh yeah, Carl is dead. The boy who replaced Carl is dead. He got his head on the pike.
I haven't seen one.
Oh, it's bad, man. Yo, Walking Dead.
Really into
Walking Dead. You gotta got a stomach, bro. Like
it's kind of nasty.
They're really bad, man. Walking Dead has been the TV show that's pushed the limit of what TV can do. Like at this point, because it's literally like.
Well, with the damn Walking Dead. Okay, I will say this because I know. Okay, because I know with Game of Thrones, there were a few episodes that really rubbed people the wrong way, like the rape scene.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people were upset with that, but and a few other because they've had some famous torture scenes in Game of Thrones. I was like, okay, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
But I know with Walking Dead, it was a bit much for me how they killed off Glenn and
right.
See, I
was not ready.
Here, guess what? That happened in the comics, the over 18-year-old comic series that this TV show was based off of. That same thing happened to him. The deaths are different in the TV series from the comic, but they kept Glenn's the same. So I expected Glenn to go out.
But not like that. Because that like that
he was crying. It's okay, man.
but we were like my wife. We were definitely silent. Like what the fuck just happened? Because it's deep. Like I like the detail. Like the man bashed his head in with a bat and its eyeballs. And all that was disgusting.
Oh, it was.
But and you know what? And
he's likable now. Like,
hey man, but you know what, man? That's what I don't like. I don't like that.
You don't like when they make the
no. Because,
like no, I just want him to.
That's why I stopped. That's why we stopped watching because like. When he did that to Glenn and what's the other guy? Abraham, right?
Oh yeah, Abraham.
You had the perfect villain on the best villain on TV in Negan, and now all of a sudden you had that window of opportunity to where you could, where Rick or somebody could kill him and bring a lot of satisfaction to the viewer. Man, they missed that opportunity, and with that, they missed me because we stopped.
That same point.
That's true.
I was not here for Negan.
That's true though, but in this new arc, I think they're gonna make him the hero. Almost. Yeah. See. Yeah. Because guess what? Like Rick, his daughter, like grew up. Like the daughter used to like go and talk to him in his cell and stuff like that. So they started winning. Yeah, man. I don't like the whole make the villain like the good guy thing, but
sometimes, but not with Negan. I thought I mean, he was a villain.
Nah, Enid is gone now. Terrica's gone.
Yeah.
And then Henry. Yeah, they got their heads on pikes. It's crazy, man.
I'm not watching this, so it's okay.
And that was y'all talking about The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
So for all the listeners who watched that show. And I hope they didn't spoil anything for all that. Those are like old episodes, right?
Yeah. That it's been about a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Gotham is a really good show, but I understand.
I feel you. All right, man. That was the first episode of Flex Talk for our summer schedule. We got the schedule listed out for May, June, and July. We'll start working on a fall schedule towards June, beginning of July, and we'll release that. But for now, it is every Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll have a couple of people interview. We got somebody. We have at least one person scheduled for each week. Sometimes maybe two, sometimes three, and we also have they'll be able to call in, right? Soon.
They won't be able to call in next week, but it should be live next week.
Yeah. So in a few weeks, you'll be able to call in. So if you live out of town, make sure you call in and talk to Flex Talk, talk to our guest, talk to our co-host Randy. He'll give you any insight as far as politics goes. He knows way more than I do. But the format will go pretty much you interview, then we'll talk about fitness, and then we'll talk about just random conversations. So today we talked about the Nipsey situation. We talked about the movies Get Out. We introduced Brandon and Cassie, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves we'll introduce themselves again for the closing segment. So if you guys did miss the intro of how to find them, what they do, they'll give you a quick little 30-second rundown. But after that, you'll be able to listen to this. Well, if you listen to this now, I guess you're on our webpage because it's Monday or Tuesday right now. You're listening to it. But after this, every week after the show, you'll be able to find us on YouTube. Be able to find it on our webpage and I'm guessing iTunes also. So please stay tuned. Make sure you follow everybody. Turn the post notifications on. Again, my name is Chris, co-host Randy. I'm going to let Brandon and Cassie go ahead and do their closing shout outs. And then we'll just see you guys next week. Make sure you stay tuned to the Instagram pages throughout the week to look at our updates. But other than that, appreciate you guys listening and let them sign off. All right, I'm out.
Yeah, it's Cash Chantel. I appreciate your attention, and I hope that it was satisfying and y'all got some good, just some good tokens to take with you to go into your week. And thank you for having me, Flexlanta.
No problem.
Yeah, this is Brandon. Appreciate Flexlanta having me. You know, me and Chris go back some years, 2015. We connected, before I even moved back to Georgia through Instagram. So, I appreciate you having me, man. Hope y'all got some motivation out of this, some insight, and some good entertainment too. All right.
You can go ahead and do a closing one too.
All right, so this is the co-host. My name is Randy. I know I was absent early on, but I'm just happy to. Anytime there's good conversation, I'm happy to be around and happy to talk and give my 2 cents. And I look forward to having a really fun, really informative, and entertaining season on the Flex Talk podcast.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next week. Again, stay tuned for our weekly updates. Make sure you follow everybody's Instagram page. Make sure you follow Janine's, follow Dizzy's, follow Asia's and Will's, everybody's page. And y'all have a good week, man. Stay blessed.
All right, peace.
Mankind. Check. Mankind. Check. Yo, I've been told I was a fool since a little kid. High school, I was hanging out with the cool kids. This is way back when I ain't know what cool meant. Hammer and some loose screws chilled in my toolkit. Clever really, was never really a school kid. True shit, I'm not sure how old I was when the rules hit. Hank Aaron calling a shot. Playing baseball, 8-ball in the side pocket with the pool stick. My mama told me I was such a fool. I went to war, I came back like another dude. You know how it feels to feel like another you, huh? Reminiscing about flying, running through the fire, escaping the Messiah on 100 proof, running shoot. Gun and troop was the move, too big was the shoes, trying to stay alive was the move. I was a fucking fool, like what you fighting for? This can't be real, this can't be life at all. And this is what they try to call a righteous cause? I should've spiked the ball, I was a fucking fool. I thought that I was fumble proof, in the mirror like who the fuck is you?
I pledged allegiance, I placed my hand across my heart, I crossed my heart and hope to die, confess my love, got no reply. No surprise party, I survived hardly, I surmised I was partly insane, thinking a uniform and fighting in the army would change how I was recognized. Guess it was foolish that I expected a better life, just cause I fought for it, just cause I bled and for all the people I lost for it. I paid the cost for it, it's Black History Month, I'm trying to march forward. Forward march in the dark forest, I got the heart for it. Only you can prevent forest fires. Sticks and stones, that's a forest lighter. Water bending, forcing fire. Fire on the church, bring the water miners. Minor key, please call the choir.